in small talk though. Like I respect what they're doing over there, and they want to chill and hang out. And man, I want to deep dive a case.
I feel you.
Like if I'm gonna sit here and be on a panel, man, I want to come over here and kick it with you and deep dive a case.
Yeah, I mean, you can only talk about, no offense, nothing for so long, you know?
But respect to them. You know, you got Motorboat over there. He's cool as hell.
Girl Ryan actually could, like, you know, put more focus. She actually has a lot of knowledge on the Chris Watts case and kind of deep dive it like I did. So, I mean, I would be willing to do that, talk about something like that, but not just, you know. Got to have a focus point somewhere, you know?
Stay focused.
Oh, there's a cup hot calling the kettle black sometimes.
Oh,
hey.
Alice. Hey, calm down. Calm down, girl.
You know I'm teasing.
How you been, 28 Alice?
Coming from
good. Took my son to an egg hunt earlier. The one that he won a bike at last year. It was pretty lame though. This year they were just too overwhelmed.
I don't celebrate Easter. Unfortunately,
me neither. I don't know why, but I don't think it's a religious thing. I think it's just why bother? I don't know.
I mean, all holidays they're all associated to a pagan god, but then it's
I'm not very religious.
It becomes like a corporate thing, you know. You can't. By the time Christmas comes, when do they have Christmas shit out? Or in, 4th of July, they already starting to put Christmas shit out.
It's kind of weird, the things like why it's about Jesus, but yet we're hunting Easter eggs and coloring Easter eggs. And same with Christmas.
And when do rabbits lay eggs?
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean,
I like the candy.
There's a metaphor behind all of this, you know, the fertility god and Estor or whatever her name is, and it all goes back to some kind of pagan belief.
Well, he's 4 and he enjoys the egg hunting, so why not?
Oh, I feel you for the kids, yeah, but it's just like, dang, how many holidays do they need a year to get a bunch of sugar and candy? And like, you know, good Lord,
hey, I score on that too.
I like it. But I got to take it from him because it's like he don't need no help. He's hyper. It's like you give him a Mountain Dew, like you just want to.
It's my excuse for buying it. It's for him, and then I can't allow him to have it, so I got to keep it.
Oh, I'm not buying it. My damn dad.
It keeps humans distracted with holidays. You know, you got to have one every month, one every other month, or else it gets boring. Can you imagine having the same holiday every year? The consumer, nobody would have work. Nobody be buying nothing. Be a big hit. That's, you know, it's all based off consumption.
And then if you think about it, like the higher price, like people with more money, you know, they get competitive, and it's like, oh, I got to have the big, you know, I got to have the best in the neighborhood, and then it becomes a money.
It is a kids' day, but there's a reason for the kids' day, why it's focused on a kids' day. It certainly is not an adult holiday. It's a fertility pagan holiday. You know, you got the eggs, the kids running around. But to each their own. I just don't celebrate it.
What holidays do you celebrate?
My anniversary, if I can remember sometimes.
You want to die?
I don't even celebrate my birthday.
Yeah, you do with a Happy Meal.
It could. I wouldn't mind a Happy Meal. My son's birthday. I think every holiday is geared towards the kids.
Just birthdays, pretty much. Or she don't celebrate her birthday either.
To us, it's just another day.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not that old yet.
What happened now? I'm sorry. I had to step away for a minute.
Nothing. I was just talking shit. You know.
Okay, so nothing new. All right. I'm good.
Yep.
The new news is today, Mighty Mouse, you missed it earlier. We were holding a live stream, just a private live stream on Facebook. No links to no YouTube channels. And we were going over Jim Terry and Mark Terry's little lies and how they lied about, you know, who owns thorium-23. I always thought that was weird why they used 23 too. Everyone just loves that 23. Mile marker 23, L23, thorium-23, Jordan 23.
Didn't you leave the motel at 623?
Must be I don't know. There are a lot of weird coding.
I know. I mean, I know his story's changed, but I believe that's what I have like logged. Is he was on camera leaving the motel at 6:23 a.m.
At this point, we have to come up and find our own timeline because what we're being told is not the truth.
Yeah, there's no way, or it wouldn't keep changing.
I need to find out who interviewed Dan, how to find Dan, and get a hold of this witness.
Well, the YouTube channel that did that interview is called Unjustified or something like that. But I don't, he's like he's kind of bigger time. He's 22K followers or whatever. Like the only thing he has for contact information on his page is Discord, and I don't have Discord. And I don't even know how to go, he doesn't have an email or whatever, but I don't know how to go about like wait until he's live and try to get in there with all the rest of his 22 subs. And I don't know how to get a hold of him, but I don't know. I know he's the one that did the interview or whatever, but he's just like a, true crime channel, kind of like the rest of them. They just follow the one that's relevant right now and do, he's probably done 12 cases since then. But he did, it was interesting how he connected Dylan and Aiden too, but this was like 9 months ago. I think it was just more or less because they were so similar in appearance and location and all that stuff. But still, he's the only one that even remotely compared them on YouTube. Everybody else was there, no connection, no relation. Like, how do you know if you don't look? If you don't look into it, how do you know anything? You can't say anything. Assertively, without a shadow of a doubt, when you don't deep dive, you don't dive at all. You barely dip your toes in.
Oh, did you see Doug going hard on Candace and Dawn?
Do you see what I'm talking about? Listen, if he's that bipolar in his real life, good Lord, I feel sorry for the dog. Sorry.
He is. Why is he going hard on these people?
He just basically had him on a show, like licking his nuts the other night.
Yeah, he's basically doing what Ryan Upchurch did, calling their fucking, pulling out their cards, calling their bluff.
Yeah, but then why have him on his show? And I think that's a spineless thing to do. If you feel that way, then be that way. Don't butter up to him to have him on your show for content. And then I really didn't like him. I just wanted him on my show. Like, you're a grubby motherfucker. And I don't trust you because you were faking the phone the other night. You was, oh my God, I know you're innocent, Dawn. I know, but you need to tell me about Candace and stop sticking up for her. Like, I knew what he was doing because I've heard all his videos for the last year.
All I had to do is talk shit and then kiss ass.
Yeah, that's spineless. I hate that. That to me is worse than a shit talking motherfucker. Is a snake that, I didn't say nothing and just.
That's like us having Amy up saying, "Oh yes, yes, oh yes, Amy, yes, and never asking no hard question. And the next day we smear the shit out of
her. Well, yeah, but no, it's worse than that because we would have to smear her for the last year prior, making money, like coming on literally doing skits in his voice and you making fun of him sounding like Boomhauer, literally like getting super chats for it and then having him come on acting all nice, kissing his ass. And then after that, smearing him again. That's what you'd have to do. That is crazy. Like we can see the videos. They're still up, you idiot. He did the same shit with Candace, though. So what? Is there another smear campaign coming for her? Can't wait.
He smeared the shit out of that whole case.
Yes.
And then
every chance he got.
Now they're best friends, and it's the Dylan's legacy. I don't know what's going on with these people or why they do what they do.
I know exactly what they do. They do whatever is going to get them clicks and views because it's all about money. Yeah. Doug was all about going after Jim. As soon as his channel got struck, he don't want to lose his channel. So now the channel went from taking down Terry to Dylan's legacy because you're a pussy.
Well, I know.
Backs down every time.
Yep.
The only ones who really have went hard on this dude are you're looking at him right now. All of us. The people in chat, it's us. That's it.
Yep.
The only legitimate people who ever fucking had the balls to take down this motherfucker.
Everybody else starts and then they back out.
You got Troll Mafia.
Troll Mafia. Yep,
Where's Troll Mafia? They're the biggest, scariest group out there. They gave up.
Well, yeah, because he got involved in trying to. She had an open case going on with something to do with kid custody, and he threatened her or did got in her head about that, and I ain't heard her say a peep about him since.
And what about Blue Bacon?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened to him. Maybe he's a real private investigator, and that's why he's so hush hush. But
what
still,
happened,
where's
Blue
the
Bacon?
action?
What happened, Blue Bacon? Like he did this little skit, put together like a little show. Gave up. None of these motherfuckers ever went hard on this dude. I know.
Nope, not and
there
follow
is one
through.
person. There's Queen Bee, but they don't go hard. You know, they make a show, they talk about it, and then move on. Nobody is down to have the balls to take this motherfucker down.
Mm-hmm.
For 10 months, we've been doing it. 10 months, the shit that we've been through, the hell that we've been through.
And never back down.
Never back down.
Mm-mm.
All the names and the nasty pictures and videos made about us and everything.
I mean, anything you can think of, it's happened probably twice.
And advertise your Cash App. You put a lot of work and effort into what you do.
I still feel pretty scummy for doing it, but I'm not doing it in a way that's going about like.
I asked her, you guys to put that up.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I was reluctant, but he made a good point and pitched it in a good way because I was like, I wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to put myself in that club, in that category.
It costs money to pay StreamYard. You know, when you're streaming 1080, it costs $50 a month.
Oh, yeah, because if you're not and you have that little StreamYard logo, Mike's going to talk crap until you do. So you're not going to stream for free in this crew.
It takes hours and hours and hours of labor work to do what we do.
All right, I'll see if I can figure out how to get it going.
And listen, I know all those videos I had up, not everybody got to see. I have every intention on remaking them. It's very discouraging of like, damn, where do I start again? But I promise I'm a bounce back. I got to motivate myself to do it.
Well, I'm going to help motivate you because I believe in you. I believe in everything that you do, and I think you're a damn good deep diver.
Well, thank you. And a lot of it is just, you know, I wouldn't really be much by myself. It's like we as a team, as a unit, this isn't something that just popped up overnight. You know, we've worked out the kinks and everything, but I think we got a really great thing that could be greater if we could stop being snuffed out by whatever it is that we're getting close to.
Those people will continue to come after us no matter what. It's inevitable.
It's okay.
But let that motivate you to think, God damn, maybe I am onto something.
Yeah, that's what it's not even. Listen, it makes me laugh when people are like, oh my God, it must be so hard. They don't even realize, like, I'm not gonna get up here and talk about personal stuff, but my mom was a demon from below, and this is nothing. This is like, it makes me giggle because it's not even. It gets me mad every once in a while, but for the most part, it doesn't even get a rise out of me anymore. Maybe if you start fucking with my dad, but even then, me and my dad just laugh. Hey, it beeps now.
I'm here to support you guys. It ain't always about me. As a team, it should be all about us.
Yeah.
I don't need to hold a live stream always to my channel or me. I can come over here and support you, and we can do this together. I love it that way anyway. It's a lot of work to get a stream going. I dig it too.
You're not streaming it to Facebook?
No.
Who, me?
Yeah, you're the one that streams to Facebook.
I could stream it, but this is all about you and what you're doing. I don't want it to be about me.
It's about all of us.
I'm not like Mr. X to advertise my Cash App on someone else's channel. This should be about you and your support to you and what you do, your work.
Oh my God, you're making me feel uncomfortable. I'm about to leave. Stop it. Insult me.
No, I'm here to support you.
Ugh. I hate this gross mushy stuff. Quit. Anyways, damn it, Alice.
So let's pull this up real quick. I got to share screen. No, it isn't about me having to target these guys. What happened to Jim Terry TV Live? What happened to Jim Terry TV? You know what they're going to tell you?
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Bullshit. It's never been down before when you had technical difficulties or you're redoing shit.
Prove it.
Why do you really have it down? I'll tell you why it's down. Because I was going through it today, and they saw that I was going through it today with Elements. And then I found out who their author was. A Kristen Plummer. Yes. I went through and found everything. Let me stop this real quick so I can pull up something, and then you can bring it back up. Go ahead. What happened?
What do you mean what happened? It's up. Oh,
no,
gotcha.
Jimmy and Robbie and everyone else who wants to try to use a website to harass and bully people.
And get around the YouTube ban.
I saw Gizzy Sue trying to register, which was weird.
Not really, because she's a big time supporter over there at Inky, so it makes sense.
Yeah, Gizzy Sue, she's a big supporter. I know she emails me, but she's over there to support. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. She's one of them, friend all.
What happened? What's that say right there?
The connection is.
What's it say in
the site is not secure. Oh, hold on, I can't see.
Go ahead, chat. Why don't you go ahead and type that out? What's that say?
Hey, every time I look at the damn thing, there's 33 people. Every time I looked yesterday. Repo guy's here, but I can't see that. It's too small.
Oh yeah, because you're on your phone. I'm on a.
Yeah, and it won't let me zoom it in.
I'm on monitors.
Joan or Brian can't read it either, so it's not just me.
Well, then that's good. Screenshot it and zoom in.
Oh, you dickhead!
Look at all these errors.
I wouldn't know what it meant anyway, so just break it down for me.
Look at all these errors. Oh, they're I know what they're doing. I'm not going to say much more, but they did this shit. They pulled it as soon as I was going through it. I was being nosy. A little bit too nosy.
Yeah, that tool is a muy excelente.
Yeah, it's now it's just a waiting game.
Yeah, you have to ask me off the air how I got that link when we're not live and tell you.
What happened? What'd you guys do? Why'd you guys drop it?
Yeah, y'all were just getting started.
Salty found your author. Salty found out how you guys were ban-evading. Salty found out all kinds of shit.
You're probably trying to get your money back for all that security you put on that website.
Who the hell is Kristen
And that was
Plummer?
what Robbie could do, and I'm sure he tried his very best, but
oh, listen,
he was supposed to be a computer.
He was shorting out. Listen, he was shorting out last night. He was freaking having a damn brain overload.
Who's Kristen
with 40
Plummer?
People. I don't know. That's a good question.
I got to find out who this Kristen Plummer is. That's who the author is in that back end. Found that name come up way too many times. Kristen Plummer. KRISTENPLUMMER.
Is that right, Kathy Waters?
I found that name in the back end of that website as an author, an uploader. Who is that person? Do you know what their excuse is? Well, Robbie's doing some stuff. He's going to have it ready by Tuesday, we hope. What are you doing? There's nothing you can do. You dropped it. You dropped it because we exposed you again. Every person who registered for that website or logged in, I have all their information.
Gizzy Sue says, hey, y'all, I did try to register in order to keep track of what's going on over there. I don't support them or Inky.
I know. I saw her register. That's why I was like, what the hell is Gizzy Sue doing up in here?
Well, I just know that it's fucking hilarious. Before they tucked and ran, they could keep it going up. Everybody was complaining about Eric's not being able to get in. That's funny.
I just wish they would I want to see the website. Fuck you. I was having fun today. It was like playing chess and then gone. What happened? No,
especially with all the shit they talk.
No, it's not registering on YouTube or Facebook. What happens when you go to that little plugin and you need to log in or create like a user account, it's already tracing. It's already making copies. It's already logging everything about you. It's got a tracker. They got cookies.
Yeah, that way they can use it for blackmail. When you piss them off or they see you in another chat, they can, you know,
They'll
dox
take
you
your,
or
they'll
stalk
take
you.
your, yeah. It don't matter. Go ahead and try to use a VPN. That shit only works when you're trying to like watch movies you're not supposed to without paying for them.
Alice, Deanna, and I like you too said you're helicoptering.
Helicoptering?
Yeah, Alice. She was going in and out. She wasn't up here, but I guess to the chat. Like, Cat K. As far, I mean, watching is just that's fine. But as far as like monetization, I'm not monetized on YouTube, but I am on Rumble. So that's up to you. Where you watch. This channel, I would imagine, is temporary. I'm not holding my breath on it staying up long. It's merely just so I can use the community post to keep you guys updated on where to find us, and
that's all. That's pretty much what.
Yeah,
the Salty Crew.
I'm not really trying to build up hours. I mean, I'm not a channel. I'm just another way for you guys to enjoy watching Salty. And
Alice has Rumble, and so does Exposing, and so does Salty, but I don't think they've went live yet.
I was supposed to work on the Rumble Salty page today, the Salty Crew, but I got so stuck and deep inside this website, just blew me away. What it's trying to do. They were trying too hard. Nothing ever fucking worked. They got way too many errors.
Well, Mike, if you have all of your videos on YouTube from or Facebook that from YouTube, you can re-upload them on Rumble and get monetized for them. And then, you know, people can still, because man, I used to go back and reference your videos like I got really spoiled with doing that with like our interviews and stuff. And Kurt.
It's the downloading. When you download a 4-hour to a 3-hour video, that takes time. And then the upload time, holy shit, just for one video.
It's way worse on Rumble. It took me all day to upload that 4-hour live stream of us going in on Jim. It took all day before it uploaded in the background. So that's the only thing that sucks.
Thank God the copies are on Facebook though.
Yeah, it'll be a process, but we'll build back better and we'll be way more cautious this time. Like Mike said before, like, you know, we'll know now what not to do as far as what people to let in our circle. That's the biggest thing, is what we were all guilty of, it is letting a snake get too close. So every one of us, you know, has been guilty of it in our own ways. And that's what we got to be careful of, is being so trusting of people that are just here to watch us try to fail, you know, or try to help.
Well, and then when you send your email out too, you got all these fuckers emailing you, 5-6 different people emailing you about crazy distractions. And it's like, you don't even know who is who and what is what.
Exactly. And it's exhausting always having to be on guard, you know?
Too exhausting.
I don't miss it.
Absolutely
that aspect of it.
Absolutely not. I always felt like, you know, we always had to be on guard and too cautious about the channels and the worry and the fear and this, that. Dude, the headache is gone. I feel like I can breathe, and it makes me a lot happier.
Mm-hmm. Like, when I've been watching my screen time from like now to then, like it was borderline like unhealthy how much time, you know, 8-9 hours. Now it's like 47 minutes yesterday, 52 minutes the day before, like
no,
on YouTube.
Don't go longer than an hour. Sometimes 3 or 4 hours.
You know, now I don't even care what they're saying.
They got people that drop off, they got them back on. You know, the watch time no longer than 20 minutes. Keep it an hour, short and simple. Keep people wanting, you know, to see the next. Not that you're doing it on purpose, but it's a lot of time and a lot of effort to stream for 3 to 4 hours every day.
Me and Kaylee did a good one the other day. What, 7 hours?
It's a part-time job.
Between the 3, it was 12 hours.
It literally is a part-time job that you don't, you know, you get a tip for it, or hopefully someone shows you some love and support, but you're ultimately doing it for free, trying to help out the cause.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a lot of why we have been kind of drawn together as far as with the group of people that is, you know, we call the crew. And I think that's mostly because when, you know, the work is different when it's money motivated and when it's not. And now that we're at the point where, you know, if we get money from it, then yeah, okay, that's awesome. We appreciate it, but it's not what we're doing it for. So the motivation is different. It's more like we're doing it for a passion, and it, you know, it just, the work reflects it. Look at Jim Terry, the one that's getting paid to find these kids, and look at his deep diving compared to ours, and we do it for free. Ashley is like blown away with what we've done, and she paid Jim to do what we, what we did and what he should have done. And that's really why he's so mad.
I really want to jump into the Ashley Easterling case too and put some hard pressure on these fucking people who.
Yeah, because it's creeping up on the year, literally April 20th, and then Aiden's right after.
And if you haven't signed the petition yet, both me and Kaylee have it pinned to the top of our pages.
Yes. I need to put it on my Rumble because I do have it on Facebook, but I do need to put it up on Rumble because she's.
And after this, I'll paste it in here too on my.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything. It's literally like just 30 seconds. It's a signature, and every signature helps.
I love helping people like Ashley because her whole story, her whole timeline makes sense. Everything was.
She's got facts.
It's you can see a totally different kind of emotion.
Yeah,
not that I'm saying
it's passion.
Not that I'm saying anything about Candace Cooley or Amy or anybody involved. I'm saying I can see a different type of.
Yeah, they just want to sit around and want someone else to do it for them. Ashley wants to find her son. You're not going to stop her. She's out there in her muck boots, out there by herself. She don't care.
That's why I know it's for real, and that's why I believe in her, and wouldn't mind sitting here investing so much time and to try to help where we can. But just a bunch of nobodies over here. But I know we're smart. I know we're committed. I know we know our ways around social media. We're not in this for ulterior ulterior motives?
Yeah, they can say what they want, but the criminal element, the whole thing you were trying to explain, it does bring a different perspective. And people can knock what they want to, but look how far we've got by just looking at it at a different angle.
The criminal element is huge. If you got to understand criminals or be around them or learn from, watch and listen to them in order to understand a criminal. I mean, I guess you don't have to. You can understand the psychology part. I don't need to be a pedophile to understand a pedophile.
Yeah, really just the environment, or just, you don't have to be one, or it brings a different vibe. Most people don't look at them and think, oh, well, because they don't realize what people are capable of. And it causes a sense of naivety, or however you say it. And it may, if you don't know, why would you think that way? And that's the reality of it.
If you were around a lion for like 2 or 3 years, you would understand the lion. You know how the lion works. You know how it operates. You know the patterns. Not everybody knows this. So when you're going into a jungle and do a tour, the people behind you are going to rely on your expertise to understand, when to spot a lion. There she is again.
Not a word. I'm going to invent seatbelts for this. My internet kept dropping.
I'm going to freaking staple you to the damn chair.
But yeah, you need a criminal element. That's about the only tool I bring into this.
No, you got a lot of knowledge on digital marketing and stuff too. Like I thought I was tech savvy, but I mean, I've learned a lot from doing shit like how you can promote yourself for free, like, and it not cost any money, but it is time consuming. And as far as that, which you can't really put that into a dollar value, but you can do it and never have to contribute a penny. You just have to be committed to the cause and have to want to grow. And, you're narcissistic and simple-minded to think people are just going to come find you. And I never looked at it that way. I'm like, well, damn, when you put it like that, maybe I can. Because I've never thought about having a channel or anything like. Are you kidding me? I was like, dude, what am I going to do? Just sit there and talk to myself? But here I am. Like, but it just.
And when you have a full-time job too, and you don't have the time to promote yourself, you'll hire someone else to do it.
Right, but that's not a bad thing either, because that for you doing that gives somebody else that is obviously good at what they do. It's a skill, and they're getting paid for it. And that's awesome anyway. So it's like it's helping the little guy, and that's a lot of why I like Upchurch and what he does, because he puts a lot of his money back into his little community, and go supporting small town businesses. And the little guy, it's always good. I'm always about helping the little guy. I'm a little guy. And not stepping on everybody else to have to go up and letting everybody come with you. Not everybody does that. So that's like you're one of the few YouTube creators I've ever seen that even interact with their chat in a way that's like, okay, if they got tips or something, you'll actually read it and can put it in the investigation. And, I sent all the information I sent to you at the beginning to Doug, Jim, if they even read it, they read it and went on their show and acted like they got the investigation, like took credit for it. And that, you know,
it happened to me over at Doug's.
Yes, and it's just it was a breath of fresh air when I was like, when I heard you, you know, on the show talking about something that I sent you, and then you addressed me by name. I was like, what the hell? Like, it was just unheard of, and then it just started from there. I was super fucking terrified to come on panel the first time. If it wasn't for Mike and Ranger, I would have never did it.
My first time ever going on panel, like a real panel, was Doug's, and they fucking tore me apart. They made me feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world, biggest chicken, loser, everything. He fucking destroyed me, all for going out to Montello and speaking my mind.
I've called into Doug's, but when I came here was the first time I ever went on panel.
Yeah, you're nervous, you don't know what to say, you don't know how, you're like, then they start asking, well, how was Montello? Well, I thought it was kind of scary when I get scary, you shouldn't have been out there. You shouldn't be going out there if you're fucking scared. Just trying to tell you the presence of it. Fuck you, Doug. Then it became like a little small war between me and Doug, and that ended.
That's about the time I came onto the scene and caught with Dylan's story and followed it over to Doug's. It was right about the time when they were all tripping about you going to Montello.
Yeah, like I was doing something bad. Like, what the fuck? You guys are tripping on me for going to get a story, but you're praising Ty and Lance for looking at goddamn deer bones? Come on.
And bringing them in all excited like they found something.
Oh, it was a hell of an attack against me for sure. But I didn't give up. I didn't care. I knew that if you're going to get attacked for something that you thought was you're doing good and being good in, and you're trying to help a cause, but they're attacking you for it, then you know something is fucking wrong. Nobody attacks somebody for trying to do good.
Not any normal, sane, not miserable person. I mean, it takes a very just nasty person to get off on, oh, let me snuff out somebody that's trying to help missing kids, or someone that's trying to shed light on child trafficking. The only thing that can make that make sense to me is somebody that's involved or got some skeletons in their closet that you might expose because of the trail you're on. I mean, prove me wrong if you're not.
Well, he gave up on Jim, okay? He made a couple of videos, did a couple lives, talked a little bit of shit.
Got struck and gave up.
And then gave up. These motherfuckers are kicking me while I'm still down, and I'm still here.
None of them are willing to risk anything, but especially not that channel, because it's all about money. We've risked it all. I mean, look at where we are right now.
And still here.
I'm getting more views on Rumble than I did on YouTube. So thanks, Jim. Since you want to take credit for that, you want to take credit for that too?
It's a stepping stone. Sometimes, the world pushes you like this to go in a different direction. Not because, to you, when it feels like it's all falling apart and crumbling down, yes, it's that scary emotion, but man, it's opening a door to something bigger, something more blessed, and you don't see it yet because you're worried and scared because that door closed. But man, how else was it to push you in that direction? It knows you're not a quitter. It knows you're a fighter. But fuck, sometimes it's like, this person won't quit, so the divine forces step in and shit happens. Then you're like, fuck, you get just depressed and sad, and it's like, what did I do so wrong? But you're not seeing the bigger picture.
So I don't think Brian is aware. He said I haven't seen Lacey in a while. Lacey Ann.
Well, you probably see her as an alt account. What Lacey Ann did was some fucking shady ass sketchy shit, but that's neither here or there.
She won't be over here.
She lost good friends, and that's sad. In exchange for some bullshit.
And just for the record, everything that went down like that, it could have been talked about, could have been talked out, but she chose to block us and not say anything and not give any reasoning, and so it could have been worked out.
She ran away like Jim and Mark.
Instead of just coming in and saying, "Look, I know how this looks."
She didn't say nothing. She blocked all of us. Yep.
What I'm happy she didn't do, she didn't follow suit like all the rest of them and start going over to another channel and start bashing us like all the rest of the fuckers did. She's just gone. And maybe, and I haven't really touched on it because, there's two things I would love to ask her is like, why'd you say that? I'd like to give a chance to listen to her.
Has it all been fake? Has it all, because clearly she could say one thing and say one thing to another. It just I want to know, like, were you faking it the whole time? Because you sure as hell didn't think he was a sociopath when he was paying for your kid's Christmas.
$700 I've sent her to get all together.
You know, and me and Mike had words about that, because I'm not going to name names, but there was a couple other people that I felt like, you know, were worthy of it, and it would have went further to just do, you know, 5 different people $100 or 3 different people $200, but he wanted to help Lacey, and you know, and it's a real smack in the face to know that if Stacy and her were talking, that's got to be back November, December, right around the time that you paid for Christmas. So it's like, what the hell, was you faking the funk just to get benefits?
Well, it's funny because I had a text from her. I text her. You know, and I think I helped Danielle too. Danielle, I gotta look back.
You helped me as well.
No, it was Alice.
I helped Alice. Oh, I helped all 3 of you. Kaylee, Alice, and Lacey.
Yep.
Every one of you received $350, I think.
No, you gave Lacey 3, and you gave me and Alice both 100. Or no, I think it was 2. Hold on, I can look at my Cash App.
Well, this is for Christmas. I know everybody got 300 and something.
350, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, I took care of you. I took care of you differently. I still helped Kaylee out. So it was.
Yeah, you asked me if, you know, if my kids and everything was fine, and I told you it would, you know, help somebody else, that I didn't need it.
But guys, Kaylee.
But you gave me, yeah.
Kaylee came on my ass. She fucking ripped me. She told me, do not give it to her, pretty much.
I said, yeah. I even whenever I was her friend, I thought it was really greedy of her to. I wouldn't have, you know, if Mike would have offered it to me, I would have did exactly like I did and said, no, you know, we'll give it to someone else, because I don't want to put them on blast, but there was somebody in the chat that was talking about, you know, going to the Toys for Tots so their kids could pick out a gift each, and that I've been there as a kid. And, you know, and I thought, you know, it would have went further to go like just smaller increments to several people so more kids can be helped. But she was just mine. And I'm like, okay, well do you have like 10 kids? She's like, no, 2. Like,
she was messaging someone at the time, because when I told her, she accidentally messaged someone else and said, oh, he gave 2 other people money. I was like, and then she hurried messaged me back saying, oh, I'm sorry, that was for someone else. I'm like, well, who the fuck you?
Yeah, and then she starts emailing me, trying to, the person that I was going to recommend. I'm just going to say it. I'm sorry if this offends you, but it's, you know, Steffers. She starts sending me screenshots of Steffers and other people's chats, like to me, making me feel like, oh, she's not worthy. Don't give her, you know, don't give her the money because she's not loyal or she's not trustworthy. But I'm like, well, what does that got to do with her kids, you know? And it just it took me back, and I related all to Mike. It didn't set right with me. And now, knowing what I'm knowing, you know, I really feel like, dang, Steffers really should have got it, because she's a good person, but I didn't know who she was at the time. She was new, but it just makes you think her intentions, you know, just from way back. She was so nasty, and so, like, I got so many complaints about being blocked in chat or being attacked by her in chat that I got so sick of it. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's acting like she's doing it out of protection, but there's no way. I feel like she was causing more problems than she was protecting from, you know, because people were not coming because they didn't like her.
Well, Lacey used to message my wife all the time when we did our cash giveaways on Friday. I was doing about $150 a Friday. It's a lot of money if you add that up a week.
Yeah, and then with the once a month, the 333.
You know, $600 plus the 333. I was giving out $1,000 almost a month.
Yes, religiously, every Friday.
Long time.
And he wasn't pulling in as much. A lot of it came out of pocket. So
the YouTube
most
channel,
of it did.
The YouTube channel, you guys only made between $1,300 and $1,400 a month. That's it.
Yeah, but that's once a month. There's other Fridays come out way before those months, and you have to fork it out of your pocket.
That's once a month, and I saved a lot of that too to help on the Christmas giveaway. I promised you guys. I gave my word. I said I'll give this much out, and I did. There's receipts for all that. But I used a lot. I used a lot of that. I used a lot of help. I can't remember, but I used a lot of that help to upgrade. My studio was funded by your guys' support. So I took what you helped me with and invested into myself, into the computers and monitors and the mics and the arms and the studio. I wanted to grow. I thought, well, I'll if that's what they're trying to help me grow, then I'll invest it into growing. I didn't go to the gambling hall like Jim and them and gamble it away, or go buy some Coke and have a sniffing party all night. I took every dollar that you guys helped and support me with and put it back in to the Salty Crew through designs or
I would like to know how much you paid for that overlay, because I was looking into it and I was like, what the fuck?
Shit costs money, a lot of money to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that's not even like one that's really there's levels to it, and I'm the basic of the basic. You're looking at 100,
my mind when I was reading what the other plans did.
Yes, like holy crap! I'm like, okay, I'll get it. I'll find me a cheap overlay. Yeah, if you'll find a cheap one, all right. But it's like, what's the point? StreamYard does one for free that looks just like that.
No, all my overlays were custom built.
Yeah, and not cheap.
But not by me.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you paid for it, and that that gave somebody an opportunity to make money that's good at that stuff. God, I wish I was.
Well, I thought presence too. Your presence, the way that you look, speaks volume, and I wanted to make sure that we were trying to look serious about what we were doing.
You were the same way about the store. How long did you get hounded by your members for months? When are you getting merch? And
for months.
You did not rush it. I will say that. Even me, I'm like, damn, when are you gonna roll out merch? He's like, no, I'm just trust the process. Whatever. Okay. No, I don't think he's had a complaint yet. I know.
Well, no, we've sold over 100 items to date. I think even more than that. But you don't make money off merch. I think I've made
my new shirt came in.
$200 something off that.
Go to Salty store and go to Jim's store. That's all I'm gonna say.
There's only one unoriginal design in there, and it's the Salty logo with the flipping off right here with the Salty 3 in it. The only thing about this Salty logo is I snapped it from somewhere and redid the logo design, put the Salty in there. But everything else that we've put in that merch is all original design. Everything. Even the Salty Crew that's done in pink and shit like that, the highlight, the calligraphy.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I sat there and designed that one night, just sitting here bored, and I was like, man, they want merch, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what kind of images to use, and I had to hire out and have someone craft up 20 different ideas that cost me a fucking arm and leg. But everybody wanted merch, and when I tried to do something, I want to do it big. Go big or go home. I'm not going to half-ass it our way around this.
Right, and it shows an example, like you do it right the first time instead of just going half-cocked into something that's going to be a failure and having to redo it 3 times. And just do it right the first time.
Well, I cared about all you. You guys are going to order. You're going to put your time to even order. You're going to wait for your delivery. This is a lot of work and effort, and I wanted to make that important for you. I just didn't want it to be a slam bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, I just love how I was able to pretty much create the shirt I made from the ground up with the design.
I told him that too. That is the most genius idea I could have thought of, like the whole customizing it, and it's got all of his logos already there. That was like, boy, it was already a good idea, but that really just put the sprinkles and the cherry and
the cherry on top with extra syrup.
Yeah, muy caliente. Very, very that was
because we all have different likes when it comes to how we use the logo and the saying, and I love it.
Yeah, it just gives you, your own an option to be creative or unique, and not one of.
You can even make your own text.
Yeah, mine. I put pretty much all of the designs that I could fit into one shirt, and then just wrote on the bottom, "Fuck around and find out."
Yeah, the option to design your own was cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I'll put it in your hands. If you want something different, by all means.
Yeah, but it has like all of the logos already right there, so you don't, it's like it's the process is not discouraging because it's so simple and just and that's the thing. Most people, oh yeah, you can customize your own shirt, but nobody knows how to do it. But when it's all right there and the logos are right there and you can resize them, it's really.
And they took care of Alice too, because they sent Alice the wrong shirt and she made a phone call. They said, "Hey, keep it. We'll send you what you ordered right away."
Really? Oh, they did the same for me, because when I ordered like 3 different orders or whatever, but I got one of them twice, And I called and I was like, and they're like, oh, it's okay, just keep it. I was like, you sure you don't, you can charge my card again? No, it's okay, it's our mistake. So I have 2 of like the little zipper pouch things with the your custom salty crew with the highlighter, like the little hemp pouches. I got 2 of them.
Yep, that's my original design. I made that right here on this computer.
I like it.
Uploaded it. Well, I didn't know how they work. That these people who, when you upload designs, it goes through a process of checks to make sure that's an original design, or else you'll get hit with like they won't even allow you to even upload on their platform. So everything goes through a check. It's crazy. And that's good. But I also wanted to make sure like the hassle, I want it to be no hassle, where you make a phone call and they'll correct your shit if it came wrong.
And they do too, because they sent me the wrong shirt, and when I got a hold of them, even before the weekend was over, they were like, well, your correct one is out. You can keep the one that we sent by accident. Have a good day.
I was worried about all that, the quality. That's why I didn't want to outsource to someone like Stinky Inky. This shit would have just went crazy. Disaster.
I still haven't got my shirt from there. And I listened, all my orders, I received them delivered by the time, within 5 days of ordering it. And if it was a weekend, then maybe 6.
I didn't want people outside, these professional people to know your credit card information, your payment information, your address. I didn't want none of that. That would have been hell for Stinky Inky. She would have probably passed that on to Jim.
Right. Oh yeah. Look at how it played out. I mean, Kathy said it just a few minutes ago. Her and Marzi are over there on Belsha. The irony in that.
It's the irony in that.
So is that one chasing everyone away too now, huh?
They all need their little cubby hole.
Yeah.
They stay on their lane, we'll stay in ours.
That's funny. I was just hearing a reference about that.
In which they have.
Have they?
I think Stinky Inky, has she stayed in her lane? Has Marzi? Haven't heard a word from Marzi. Which is probably good.
But they've all been keeping their heads down because of this war between us and Jim.
Oh, they're not keeping their heads down. They're just quieter. They're not going on panel, but I see them in chat and they're running their mouth. Tony too. Crybaby little bitches. Fake victim, crybaby little bitches.
Yeah, we've never done nothing to Tony. For her to do what she's done in her 360 just speaks weird between him, her, Nick Malone, Bellevue, when that all went down that day on that Monday. You guys were all there, It makes me think, damn, was it really Bellevue who did this? Then you got cut and shoot. And
I wasn't even expecting it, and I thought at the time her and I were friends still. I didn't even realize it went down.
So now that time has gone by and you see who still congregates, it's like, damn, you motherfucker, you were part of this. You guys did plan this. It was a big sabotage. And they planned it down to the day. Then they executed it. And I knew it too. I called them all out. Well, we didn't do that. Well, I didn't know. No, that's not the case.
Yeah, you're a conspiracy theorist because you put it together. Just because you connect dots doesn't mean we're conspiracy theorists. Is it a conspiracy theory? If you can prove it, no, that just means, oh, we got to shut them up.
That was all weird how that went down.
Weird, man. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, there's too many things that just, are you kidding me? The same day that Trump gets arrested, or there's this big sweep on YouTube? Come on, man.
Oh, that was a change of energies too that day. It felt like I crossed over into a different dimension.
Yes, like it. Yeah. That was a big hit to free speech as an entirety. That was an ever-changing day on holy shit. It's not about what's right and wrong, about what's truth and what's not. It's about what fucking side of the fence you're standing on, and that's scary, people. Because everything that Trump they're saying he's guilty of, Biden has done and then some. So why is, that is crazy to me to be that hypocritical in front of everybody's face.
It took 10 months, almost 11 months to weed out all the problems. That's why I highly respect and adore all of you in chat, because I know now who the real and who the fake is.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
At the time when all this was going down and we got all these viewers and all these emails and all these people, it's like, man, well, so much fog and confusion and you don't know what is going on. So I'm I feel like a bunch of weight has been lifted off our shoulders when it comes to understanding who the fuck is who, what circle is what, who's going where. Then it all starts to make sense. And it's easier to watch.
If I could do it again, the only thing that I would do differently is, and where I think we messed up, is making ourselves so available, you know? Like, that is where I would have went wrong. I think being too open, you know, like where they could get a hold of us by email and by Facebook, because a lot of it was just having to get to the bottom of these bogus ass claims. And then it's like to the point where now you don't know what's true and what's not. You don't even want to check your email. That is what I would do differently. I would not have made myself so available so fast, you know?
We were guppies. We were guppies in a world that we didn't understand. And we came in with a heart. We came in with a heart. We came in with real intentions. We were genuine.
Yes.
And we were shit on. We were walked over. We were abused. We were used. We were thrown out.
Made a mockery of.
Yeah, and that's okay. You live and learn.
So now we separate just a little bit to keep those people from coming back at us.
It was meant to be that way, like your first relationship. You would have to go through 10 relationships to understand, you know, to finally get it.
Oh, I know when Doug pulled that shit with me, I was heartbroken.
So it took all that shit to go through to finally get it. And I don't still get it. I'm still learning. But at least I understand now. At least it's hardened me, calloused me a little bit.
Oh yeah, look at how we reacted at this time. Well, not this time of year, but when all the crap went down with Tony and all them. Look at the reaction and how we handled it then compared to now. Like I'm real proud of that. You know, we don't even, most of the time we laugh, but it's, you know, we learn from it instead of, you know, because it would be crazy for the same things to keep happening, to keep approaching it the same way. You know, that's pretty much the definition of insanity. So I think it shows that
beating ourselves up and mad, just to beat ourselves up.
Right, but I mean, it shows that, hey, when something happens and we learn, you know, we're showed, okay, this is how it is. We learn from it, and then we, you know, we don't do it again. They're like these other people. Well, yeah, it happened to me 5 times, but I want you to feel sorry for me because I'm here for the 7th. You know, like, what, lady? At this point, you're doing it to yourself.
Well, like, you're putting your foot down. I used to have so many people come up on my panel and tell me who I should have and who I should let go, and you know, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm like, okay, listening to some, not listening to others, getting blamed for this. Finally, I'm at the point where, you know what? It's my fucking panel. Fuck, I'll have whoever I want up here. I ain't gonna be telling me shit no more. And this is what
Who's
has calloused.
Who's
the chef?
What do you mean? Like, is that you asking me what's for dinner? What they?
No, the pastry chef or whatever his name is. I kept hearing references to him, but I don't think I've ever seen him.
His name is Eric. You don't remember? Oh my God, I'm not even gonna tell that story.
I was still with Doug when that happened.
Oh my God, tell it, Mike. Ranger tells it so much better.
You gotta get Ranger to tell this one.
What? I hope he's okay. I haven't talked to him in a few days. They took a hard hit with the tornadoes, and he pretty much told me he was disgusted with all this stuff, and he was done with YouTube, and said he's gonna check Rumble out.
That's his name, Eric.
Eric.
The guy that secretly wanted to have sex with me in the motel room.
No, it wasn't secretly, motherfucker. We all seen it live.
I'm saying it's his secret because I didn't know about it.
That's too funny.
He was so butthurt when you said me and my wife. Yeah, we'll get in the motel room. He said, never mind. Just never mind.
Never mind, he said. We can share a room. No, I kind of want my own room. No, we can share a room. No, I want my own room. I've had a celly fucking way before. I don't need to share. I don't want to share a room.
He was like, there's 2 twin beds. And he's like, well, I don't think me and my wife are going to fit on a twin bed. He said, oh, you're what? Never mind. And listen, the reason it was so funny is because Mike was like, no, he was so clueless that it was funny because everyone else has been telling him like he's got a crush on. No, not at all. And he was like trying to pick him up and like, you know, acting like, oh yeah, we can go meet up and check Montello out. Yeah, he wanted to check Mike out. The chili ranch. Ew. And he was so like butthurt visibly, you know, like it was just, and I haven't heard or seen from him since.
I know the first time I came over here where I actually got into the chat, Black Dove was here that night and he was flirting hard with Ranger and it was funny.
Yeah, Ranger's definitely he's the way he tells it is so much funnier because it's like he knows that the genuineness behind like Mike had no clue and it was so awkward. Like he wasn't even streaming his face back then, but you could hear it in his voice. He was so fucking uncomfortable. It was so funny.
Shout out to Steve Olsen. He's in Florida right now enjoying the warm weather and the beaches. Sitting up here in Utah. He sent me a picture. He's like, I'm going to the beach. I started to cry. I've never been to the beach.
Oh, hey, listen, it sucks. You just get burnt.
He's got all his bleach.
And there's sharks in the water.
Yeah, and
looks like he's about to go surfing.
Steve, pale ass. Yeah, right.
His million.
And that water's cold.
$1 million plus home.
Oh, and the
Laguna Beach or something, or wherever.
Palm Springs, I think.
Palm Springs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rich folk.
Yeah.
Them guys.
Steve Wilson used to be like a club owner or did something with something. Man, if you had seen how many salt lamps he had, it'd blow your mind.
Yeah.
But you know what's cool about Steve? That dude, he sits there and is a diehard for his mom. Always helping his mom.
Such a mama's boy, but in a good way.
And that's real cool. Doesn't focus on anything else other than helping his mom.
It is very noble.
Mad respect for that.
Yeah. I ain't taking care of my mom. You got me fucked up.
Well, his mom's in a wheelchair too. Puts a lot of work in for his mom.
Yeah. That's
from sun up to sundown, no days off.
Very
it's a good thing.
Demanding. Yeah.
Highly respected.
And he tends to his animals the same way. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, wait, you got that too? Is there anything you don't have? I think he's got one of at least every animal in the freaking on the food chain. Literally, a llama, a horse, a cat, or 5.
The llamas. I thought they were alpacas.
Listen,
I wonder if he took his dog with him.
I guarantee it. All of them probably went. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's got magic at the pool.
I'd be scared to leave my home in Montello.
Nah,
God forbid you get another chase out there.
I think he's established at least enough to know, like, it's not gonna be hard to find out who, and I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that. He's highly
I wouldn't want to fuck with Steve. Have you seen his arsenal?
No, I've seen some of it, and that's what I said. I know he's got long range, so fuck around and find out.
This dude looks like he's ready to go to war anytime.
Fucking American sniper.
He's got the arsenal for it too.
American sniper in this bitch.
He's got the gear. He's got the arsenal. Like, this dude don't play around. He means business.
And he's wired for sound. There ain't a fucking place on that property that he can't see. No blind spots. Smile, you're on camera.
We need to get a hold of Dan. Find Dan. We need to get a hold of the person that interviewed Dan. And we need to find this witness. And we need to do our very best to try to figure out how we can get any kind of public information from the Highway Patrol, the Nevada State Highway Patrol, when they pulled over to check in on Aiden's. There's got to be a camera. There's got to be something. A report, an exact time, a witness, something. Who took the witness statement?
If they cited it, according to the police report, they said they cited it, but shut the door. But there's no citation on the truck. So where the fuck have you given action for being a bitch? And on top of that,
I think you're helicoptering.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
They should be loaded from that weather station. And it's DOT, according to Amy.
What a coincidence, right? A DOT camera and a DOT worker.
Right. And there's a DOT worker involved in the Dylan Rounds case. You're not going to convince me that we're conspiracy theorists and that there's not something more to.
Steve brought Odin.
Of course.
Oh, that's where he's at. It's California.
He spends December in Florida. He goes to California for Easter. Get it right. God. And then it's Thanksgiving. He goes to Lake Tahoe. Come on, man. He's got houses in every area code.
Does he need someone to hold his suitcase or?
I don't know. I'm not
Vax
fanning
for
him,
him?
though. I'm not fanning him.
The
Or feeding
application
him
to fill
grape.
out anywhere.
Ask Kai and Anna.
Oh yeah, someone who was saying I was
Marzi.
over at Girl Ryan's today, and she mentioned Steve, kind of like like how Marzi took advantage of Steve and girl. I think it was Girl Ryan or someone in that chat said, "I need someone like Steve," and I was like, "What? Talking about Steve Willis?"
Yeah, because it's known on YouTube or whatever. Like if you could, Steve is the one. If you want to go make easy money and just be a little nice to him, that's how he's talked about, and that's what made me go off on Inky when I went off on her the second time. Like, don't do that to fucking Steve, and it's not a bad thing because he's nice and because he gives people the benefit of the doubt. If anything, shame on you for trying to take that and use it to your advantage. You fucking slime balls, horse, fucking dust bucket.
I know that guy that went searching with Ty in that white truck, that Toyota. Me and actually Kaylee have discussed that and talked about it.
Dan the man.
So
his name is Dan Slater.
We're on it, Puff Muffin. Believe that.
Yeah,
we've looked at every angle.
Oh yeah. But what about the fact that the lady at the damn hotel said he doesn't work there? He quit 2 weeks ago.
Yep. So I was saying in chat today, man, I would love to just go down there. When I was having this live stream this morning, I was like, I would love to go down there and just get firsthand of this motel. And
that would be awesome.
I want to go in there and talk to the people firsthand, and then drive out to mile marker 23, then get a firsthand feel of it. Go over to that camera and kind of like pull over to the side of the road and role play how it could have all went, and seeing if I could have seen someone across the street and how long it takes to run from the car over to the fence, and just kind of get a feel of everything. Someday.
Yeah, Puff Muffin, that's a good eye though. But I've already been looking into it. His name's Dan Slater, and he lives in Wells, Nevada. Do with that what you wish. But that could just be a coincidence, but that's your job to be the judge of that. I'm just here to give you the information. You do your own research, form your own opinions, whatever the hell else makes this a disclaimer statement. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. Blase, waze, swaze.
That's a Puff Muffin. That was a direction that me and Ranger talked about at one time. That if we did do these cases, it would be better we wanted to be boots on the ground and put real time and effort into it, not just surface cover. Surface covering is boring. I don't want to sit here and talk about it. I want to deep dive it. I want to figure out the shit that don't make sense.
Yeah, that's not covering a case. That's reporting on a case. What these other channels do. They shouldn't say they're covering cases or anything of that nature because they're just reporting on it. They should be a news, true crime news station. What public news is already saying.
They're just following suit.
And they only think that, if I get the parent on there, then I've done something. Well, the parent is, no offense, they're part of it, but that's not all the work, and you haven't done it, and you're not at the top of the mountain because you've done that. Like that, if you're trying to solve the case, or unless the peak of it is just how many clicks and views and super chats you can get, then yeah, you've done it. Like, come on, you've been working on the Summer Wells case, Doug, for how many years? And you got Dawn on there, and that's the peak of it. Are you any closer to finding out what happened to Summer? Come on, let's talk about it. I don't think so.
There was a podcaster that I was telling today in Girl Ryan's chat. There is a podcaster who did solve a 12-year murder case. And this podcaster just came out of the blue. He wasn't interested in being a podcaster. He wasn't interested in none of it. Not the money, nothing motivated him to be a podcaster. But there was just one particular case that just bugged him that he could not get over. And then one day he decided to quit his job and become a podcaster. And then he told the story, and then he blew up. And then he looked into it and he deep dived it. And if it wasn't for him deep diving it and triggering certain people, the case would have went cold. And her last name was Smart. Not Elizabeth Smart. It was someone else. I had to look it up. It was a cold case back in the 90s. So yeah, there are podcasters. There is a podcaster that solved a case. I remember I was talking, I think it was Queen Bee. She said, "Oh, there's no podcasters don't solve cases." The guy, no, it's true. There is a time where a podcaster did solve a case. Crazy. Kristen Smart. There you go.
Well, yeah, and apparently, according to the way the news made it out, if it wasn't for that vlogger, the van life vlogger, then they would have never found Gabby Petito.
So it sometimes it takes outside forces to come together with a team like a village and think tank stuff through and maybe can make progress. There's nothing wrong with that. We lose Alice again?
Oh yeah, I think she just gave up this time because she didn't come back up. Kathy, I just sent you the link to that channel if you want. I don't know how to get in touch with them, but that's the channel that did the interview with Dan. The link I sent you on Messenger. The only thing he's got listed on his About Me is a Discord. So if anybody has Discord, then by all means.
What was we listening to yesterday where it kept saying, and the witness saw Aiden pull up, and the witness saw Aiden grab his guitar, and
that was that same channel, the one that did the interview with Dan. It's called, or Dan. It's called Unjustified or something like that. Hold on.
Is it on YouTube? Unjustified.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's not on Utah. Let me look.
No, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Unjustified. Let's see.
It's called Unsolved Mysteries, and the way you have to search it is type in Aiden Clune and Dylan Round, and it's like a 12-minute, 13-minute video, but it's the one with the interview of Dan and the interview where they said,
"Oh, the trooper said there was nobody around," and then, but there was a rancher nearby. Yeah.
I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on. All right, how do I find it? Aiden. A lot of Aidens, huh? Aiden Fusi, Aiden. A lot of Aidens in this one. Aiden Clune. What would you say? Aiden Clune. What else do I need to look into? Oh, Unsolved Mysteries.
I just sent you the link.
You sound like a robot. Oh, okay. Okay. Unsolved Mysteries. There we go. I found it. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kaylee Show. I am your host, Mighty Mouse. We'll be talking about Aiden Clune and his disappearance. Got a lovely co-host. Let me introduce you to her, Mighty Mouse.
Hello, had to go out and come back in. I was helicopter. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Let me pull this up.
All right. Yeah, if you read the description, Kathy, he says that he the interview, the parts with Amy, he accredited those, like he clipped those from Sleuth Mom, but the other ones he conducted the interviews with Dan and his reporting of it, but he gave Sleuth Mom credit or whatever. The clips of Amy came from Sleuth Mom.
I got it behind the panel. Ooh, yes, Aiden. Yes, flaunt those horns.
Welcome, everyone.
Oh, this is going to lag because my son is streaming on his PS5 and Kyle's got the internet on in there. Damn it.
And thank you for watching this episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Can you guys even hear it?
Yes, we can. Or I can hear it. Yes.
It's
Kathy in the chat says yes.
Hella lagging. Let's see if I can turn let's just drop this rate. See if that works. Look, I can't even sign in. You guys see that? I'm so banned from YouTube, I can't even sign in. What is going on with this lag? This is crazy.
It's only 7 minutes, so I mean, I'm not gonna say for 100%, but I'm trying to download it like to the video clip way, but it's about halfway there. We'll see.
Oh, yes, I remember. Still thinking, and it's already gone through this much. This is weird. I've never had this much
Welcome,
lag.
everyone, and thank you for watching this episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Today, we explore another disappearance of a 19-year-old Aiden Clune from Sonoma, California. The similarity
Well, this ain't good. This damn lag.
It's uploaded to the video clips, but the only thing that'll suck if I do it this way is we won't be able to pause it. And like if it'll start over every time we pause it.
Raise an eyebrow. An innocent teenager with no criminal record seems to just disappear in the middle of his road trip. While it is unlikely the two cases are related, there is a shock factor.
I don't know what's this lag. This sucks. But I do have something. I think. I've never experienced this much lag.
The fact that the two disappearances occurred just a month apart and less than 90 miles away from each other.
I'm gonna try it this way. It downloaded, but we're not gonna be able to pause it and stop it or whatever and like talk about it. If you stop it, you'll have to start it over.
I think my son's hogging all this internet. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. He is live streaming and playing his PS5. I got so much stuff going on the Wi-Fi. My internet, it's lagging. Which shouldn't be, but it is.
Bet you his graphics are epic.
Yeah, I'm sure his stream's going good for him.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for watching this episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Today, we explore another disappearance of a 19-year-old Aidan Clune from Sonoma, California. The similarities between the disappearances of Aidan Clune and Dylan Rounds are enough to make one raise an eyebrow. An innocent teenager with no criminal record seems to just disappear in the middle of his road trip. While it is unlikely the two cases are related, there is a shock factor behind the fact that the two disappearances occurred just a month apart and less than 90 miles away from each other. As Aidan's mother describes the days before his disappearance, it becomes obvious that something is very wrong.
Aidan was fine before he went to Washington. And then when he got back, he started taking circumstances and turning them into these more nefarious situations in his mind. So then I actually called his doctor and I said, hey, Aidan, there's something wrong. Please call him in. Please do something. He's not okay. You need to help him. And they said the same thing. If he doesn't come in for help on his own, we can't do anything. So I finally got in contact with some nonprofit things. I was calling everywhere in Santa Rosa. I finally found this one with a sliding scale and a really nice guy. I said, Aidan, will you please go into counseling? I found this guy for you. We can do it. It's not a problem. And he said yes. And then he was sitting on his phone and suddenly this very alarmed look came over his face. And he said, Mom, I got to go stay somewhere else for a few days. I got to go.
Aidan immediately began packing a bag, got in his truck, and left. Unfortunately for Amy, Aidan's mother, she had no idea that this would be the last time she saw her son. As Aidan attempted to relocate to an environment where he felt safe, he wound up sleeping in his truck outside of a park.
And then sometime around mid-morning, he finally called me and he says, I haven't heard from you. I said, Aidan, you blocked me. He's like, oh, okay. I said, Aidan, are you coming home now? And where did you stay last night? He said, I stayed in my truck across from this park. And I was like, why did you do that? And he said, I just decided, I feel like everybody's kicking me out of Sonoma. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm not kicking you out of Sonoma. Come home. And he says, I can't do that. Then it was later, I think it was around noon, he calls me and he says, I'm going to go to Grandma's in Salt Lake City, Grandma Debbie. Then there were some calls from Debbie and all of this, a lot of calls going on. And they were going to get him they have a brand new travel trailer. They were going to set it up for him with sewage and electricity. And it was like he's going to have his own place, which he's desperately wanted. Debbie wanted to see her grandson. She was very happy. Her husband, Mike, was very happy. They were all excited. Everybody sounded really happy about it. But then he starts asking me paranoid stuff about locks. How does that trailer lock? I said, it locks just like a front door. You can lock yourself in and lock other people out. That's how it locks. Mom, are you sure? And then I said, yes. Then he said, what have you not told me about Debbie and Mike? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've told you, what do you mean? You know everything about Debbie and Mike. You know them. And I said, come on, honey, don't start doing this. I guess it was a couple hours or maybe it was an hour and a half. I get a call from Debbie and she says, Aidan tried to kidnap Mike.
As Aidan's paranoia begins to spiral out of control, an incident takes place where Aidan convinces his grandfather Mike to get in his truck and then turns around to take off in the opposite direction. As Aidan realizes Mike has a phone, he tries to take it from him unsuccessfully, slams on the brakes, and tells him to get out of the car. Aidan's mother gets news of this incident and immediately calls local law enforcement of Elko County to inform them that Aidan is in danger and missing. As the investigation turns over to law enforcement, missed opportunities and more questions begin to emerge. At 6:23 a.m. on April 27th, Aidan was seen on surveillance leaving a Motel 6 in Wells, Nevada. I was able to briefly speak to Dan, the attendant at the Motel 6, who checked Aidan in the night of the 26th.
It was dark and it was the right time of year, so it was between 6 and 7 o'clock. Yeah, it was not snowing or anything, it was just cold. I'm sure there was snow on the ground. Yeah, he just came up to the window and he was apprehensive about renting a room because he wasn't 21 years old. He didn't think I would rent a room to him. And I told him to relax. We'll get you in a room, buddy. You know, he was a really nice kid. Yeah, he was very mellow.
Relax. We'll get you in a room, buddy.
He didn't have any issues that I could tell.
After departing the hotel,
What do you say?
Relax, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It's the right time. It's the right time of the year.
The right time of year. It wasn't dark or anything.
Oh, he lied about that.
But what is the right time of year? Like, that's just a weird thing to say whenever you're talking about, it's not like you're talking about a missing dog or like hunting season. You're talking about a missing kid.
Well, remember too, he said he checked in between 6 and 7. This would have been fresh off his mind. How did he just make the number up, or did he actually know the time, or was there a time?
Yeah, because I mean, it can't both be true. We're seeing that Amy changes it, but according to him, he was seen on surveillance. But when Lance asked Amy about it, she said that, or not, Lance didn't ask, the chat did. She said that she asked them to see the security footage, and they said they have it, but it wasn't working that night. Like, what the fuck? And you accepted that answer? I just showed my natural, and the law. Somebody would have got that footage. You're not going to tell me you seen it. And if it wasn't working that night, how did anybody see him on CCTV? Which is what you attested to, Amy and Dan. I want to know who's lying.
Well, someone's lying.
Clearly.
And if Kathy Waters is right, and there's an adjoining room, as from what Amy has originally said, God, she could take that back and say, "Oops, I'm sorry."
She's still staying with that, saying he was being paranoid about the conjoining doors, and if the doors locked.
On his side, they could. On his side, they could.
But somebody, I thought they said they looked it up on the website, and they said that they the bathroom, like they shared bathrooms, the rooms.
A room would share a bathroom with another room? I don't think so.
I'm like, I would never stay somewhere if I had to share a bathroom with somebody else I didn't know. That was like, I would never ever. But I don't know. Maybe they just read it wrong.
I need to get out there, rent a room, and just stay the night and get a good feel of it. Walk around late at night.
Check this out. I was listening to the Spirit Box person, and they were doing something with Dylan and Aiden. It was literally like maybe 7 days ago, 8 days ago. Something kept me. I heard this clear as day, and I never heard words come through on the squawk boxes like this. It kept saying room 7, room 7. It could be nothing, but if you're planning on going and sniffing around, I said it first, room 7.
No, I want to. I'm in desperate need to want to go out there and sniff around and snoop around and be nosy. Like, I want to see if room 7 has an adjoining room. And dude, I am down to go out there and try to see. I really want to get out there to where he pulled over, though. See if I can find anything. I don't know. Something.
What's a hostel? What's the heck a hostel? What's the difference? What's that?
Hostel.
No, or hostel? Like, is that like a bed and breakfast type thing? Or what is the difference between a hotel, motel? Or is that a joke that I'm not getting?
Go watch that movie, Hostel.
Oh, I get it.
Where they, where they have that market where rich motherfuckers can buy trafficked humans, and then they bid on them. So let's say some rich motherfucker has some weird kinky fetish to hang you up in the air and just slowly slice you and watch you bleed, and enjoys all the blood coming on. There's sick motherfuckers out there that do this, that have these fetishes.
And listen, it's more than likely.
So where are you gonna be able to perform this move on these humans without getting in trouble with it? You got all these weird fucking countries that you could get away from it.
Or if he's a truck driver, he's always on the road. He could do it anywhere and dispose them from here across America. Here's a body part. Here's a body part. Let's stop at this rest stop, throw it away. Now it's at every dump. Good luck. I mean, think about it. If you're going to be a serial killer or a thrill killer, that would really be the smartest way to go about it. And if your target is like transient people, that in your definition, you look at them and think there's going to be nobody looking for them. It's really genius if you're a fucked up person. Like, if you think about it.
Absolutely. I think also Tantra, one of these in chat, because you're streaming to Rumble. People can go to Rumble and they're chatting over there, but
there's a live chat over there, but I can't see it from StreamYard. That's the only thing that sucks.
Which is good too, because keep these streams going. They'll have a copy somewhere.
Right.
The human trade has to be somewhere. People are buying this shit, and this shit is happening. Someone's got to be kidnapping.
I mean, think about it. That picture of with Aiden in the Halloween bucket, like, was that advertising? Like, what make that make sense? Somebody in chat, please. Why would you, for any reason, that young of a child or a child at all, any age, holding that with a Halloween bucket in that like sweet and innocent kind of pose with that writing on it?
The next step, Kaylee, in this case, is to get out there. Kind of like independent journalism, investigating journalism.
Yeah.
Start snooping around.
But I don't think that you should do it like anywhere near like a, I don't think you should talk about it anywhere near with the time you're going. So, I don't have to say why.
If I go out there, nobody's going to know. Absolutely.
And I think your schedule should align and get up with Steve when you do it.
Fast Eddie, when
a couple of weeks ago that he didn't mind going, y'all could drive his car, because I think that would be way smarter, just so you don't have to worry about no dumb shit.
Yes, I want to get out there.
Is that a long fall this time, Alice?
Did you fall in?
Yeah, I had to go and help with some eggs real quick, but I was listening.
You've been so excited to cover a case like where you're dying to get out there and you try to figure this out. Like, my blood is boiling for this. Now my mind's racing to try to figure out.
Oh, I'm completely jello. I wish I could go.
Yeah, I wish you guys were out here. Well, you are close, but Kaylee too. Fuck, this would be fun. That's my type of Easter egg hunting. Yeah, you guys like to do this? I get a rush off this. Like,
y'all don't even know. Mike does, because he knows. I'm sure when he was working, I'm sure he cussed me so many times, because I'll be deep diving, and then I'll finally find a connection, and like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just screenshot it, show it to him. Then no. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm screenshotting it 5 million messages. Then I'm like, sorry, I know you're sleeping, but I get so excited. I'm like yippee giddy excited, like, and it's I don't really think anything else is going to scratch that itch. I mean, not at this point in my life. I haven't found anything that does. It's just,
and she really does do that. She's woken me up a time or two, and so it's salty waking all of us up.
You said the magic word. It's an itch that we have to scratch. Like, this is becoming an itch to me that I need to scratch, an addiction to figure out truth. And I love it. Like, I can't get enough of it. This is what makes me happy.
It's very fulfilling, especially after you've been like on a good rabbit hole that's just a clusterfuck that doesn't make sense, and you finally find something that makes it make sense. Man, I'll tell you, there's nothing more fulfilling than that.
No, when you're in a room with people thinking similarly, and you're all shooting out awesome ideas and getting shit figured out, and that's fun too.
Right, and then it's like, okay, what's the next rabbit hole? Come on, put me in, coach. Let's do it. And I'm like, wait, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Crap. And then by the time they wake up, they're like, what are you on? I'm like, yeah, I done came down off that high, but I got another one for you. Ready to go? And they're like, God, do you ever sleep? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually waiting to go to sleep now, but I couldn't wait. I had to wait for y'all to come alive. I got to pass the torch.
Then the last day you go live out there, because by the time they even try to catch up to you, you'd already be gone. But man, I got this itch, this desire to head out to Wells, to head out to this area. Not even worry about tying his, I got a lot of ranchers out here that want to beat your ass. For what? Exposing the truth? Introduce me to him. Matter of fact, introduce me to Lear, the witness.
In fact, he was the first one to open his mouth about any of them and gave us the first impressions that we ever got off of them.
Yeah, they want to kick my ass. I'm sure they got some real estate. They don't want to get sued. That'd be a motherfucker. Go ahead, kick my ass. You own what?
I agree, Beth. That's what I'm thinking. Because I cannot wrap my head around that time-lapse video. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that they're charging him and saying he desecrated the body when they haven't found a body. That just seems like a lot of premature actions for someone that didn't do nothing as a police department for 10 months because they wanted to dot their T's and cross their I's. Okay, well, you don't even have the body. Why are you making an arrest and not even announcing the arrest as a department? if you know that he's dead, where's it? You know, I'm not buying it. They're too eager to close the case, like Chris Watts. And we know there was unfinished business with that one. There's no way y'all seen the information in the way I presented it, and there's no way y'all can say, I believe what the DA said. And you know, and if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. Anywhere there's money involved and politics involved, which is everywhere, there's room for corruption.
Oh, I'm going, Deanna. I think the gas will be about $100 there and back. The
You get some good gas mileage.
We got a 2021 Nissan. It gets good gas mileage. Maybe a little bit more. I have to ask her. I think last time we went out there, it was when gas was like $4 to almost $5 a gallon, but it's dropped significantly. I can get to Wendover on a half a tank. I can get to Montello on a third. So yeah, it would, and it costs about $30 to fill up a car, $30, $35, $40. So there and back, $80, about $100 in gas. That room, I don't know how much that room costs. 70, 60. Fuck food. I'll just eat a bag of chips and a Mountain Dew.
Well, listen, I'm gonna speak up
It's
for
$200.
really
It's a $250 trip. Easy.
Exposing is not gonna eat no bag of chips. So
Well, she wouldn't go.
Top ramens. Top ramens.
She wouldn't go. She'd be like, "Oh fuck no, you're on your own." Then she'd
Hey, I don't
beg
blame
me
her.
not to go, but I'm going because I'm curious, and I'm gonna record everything. And on my last day there, we'll go live.
I would just record it the whole time and then just upload them when you get home. You know, kind of like
go in there all secret and sly. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
point,
like the
I get
mom
too
from
excited
Monsters Under Our
though.
Bed.
Like I want to bring you guys with me.
Yeah, he streamed it the whole time. Mob did, but he didn't upload the footage until he got home. You know, so that he wasn't live. You know, kind of good idea just in general to keep yourself safe because people are crazy. I mean,
I would definitely go out there in stealth mode. Absolutely.
Steve has got me scared shitless because of that movie he recommended. You a-hole. I would recommend y'all go watch it.
Fucking Steve, my guy.
What movie?
I swear to God, he just put that shit together in the universe.
It's called Vengeance. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Vengeance, and it is. Listen, I have a love-hate relationship with it, and I have a love-hate relationship with Steve. Consequently, that's all I'm gonna say.
More than likely, you guys, I'd probably wait for Steve to come back.
Yes, please. I ask that you do at least.
That would be the smartest.
If he would take up that offer to, be a part of that with me, just as someone being there. Fuck, if I disappeared, you guys ain't gonna know. Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be able to go live on YouTube. I'd have to set up a StreamYard.
Ain't nobody. Listen, he's got Orem all the time. Ain't nobody fucking with that dog. I'll tell you that. He don't even need the rest of the protection. That dog is like, fuck around and find out. He's got to look like he'll bite the shit out of you.
And well trained.
I could stay connected with you guys and live stream on a private network and only bring in people who we know. And go live and with an update and give a link out to only specific people.
Or we can record it on StreamYard, like the people, the close ones, and then you have it recorded on StreamYard and then air it and broadcast it like once you're home and not there.
Yeah, because getting the fuck out of there, you guys don't even know that feeling.
I can only
multiple
imagine,
times when I got out of there, it felt good. Like, it could have been ambushed by Ty.
Actively talking about it on other panels that he's waiting for you to come around and his
saying all kinds of crazy shit.
Sure you're in the hospital. He's gonna beat you until you're in the hospital.
Ooh, that excites me even more. Well, exposing my wife ain't gonna let me out the door unless she knows I'm in the presence of some company.
And he's not saying come to Montello anymore. He says if you come to Wells and Wendover, which is very odd to me. Like, what is that? That makes me feel like that's where you should be.
That's where I should be. That's why I want to go. Like, I got the balls to do this. I'll go. I'll definitely go. I'll go fucking tomorrow. No, I take that back. I got my son with me for Easter.
And Steve's not home yet.
It would have to be on a weekday where the rooms would probably be a little bit cheaper. People are busy doing things. I'll go in there in stealth mode. God, now you guys are making me too antsy and excited. Like, this reminds me of going back to Montello and covering the story. We get firsthand into the motel. I'm flying home Tuesday. It's only an hour flight. She said, "Oh snap, we're we'll put this to discussion to rest, and I'll keep everybody updated privately."
Yeah, good idea.
But it's a mission. It's a mission goal. I'm going. I won't tell nobody which day or when it's going to happen, but I'm going. They won't even know.
Lady.
You can have a friend that works at that motel and look for my name. I'll go with someone else. But I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get the story. I'm going to go to mile marker 23. I'm going to film everything. I'm going to film the inside of that motel. I'll try to have a conversation with someone.
See if you don't see Bill Lear on the side of the road with a horse.
You guys are making me too excited, dude. I'm not going to be able to sleep. This is like Christmas.
Should we get him a fedora and a pair of dark sunglasses?
This is like
Listen,
adult
I think
Christmas.
you should go check out the casino across the street from the motel too, like the truck stop. I think you should go
Oh,
check
no
it out
joke.
and see what it's like. If they're like, you know what to look for, Mike. Just see if there's anybody posted up looking like, what. That's a very big hub for trafficking drugs and people. Like, just look and see if you see anybody that looks like they're standing around waiting to catch a sale. Because I think Aiden got caught up in something that was started out as drugs and ended up with him being trafficked. That's what I believe. Because the way he talked to his mom, listen,
this is too exciting, you guys. You guys got to quit this talk. I feel like
that interview.
I feel like a little kid
Amy.
waiting on Christmas and gifts and stuff.
Okay, listen.
I'm getting too nervous. I want to pack my bags right now.
Y'all are gonna think that I'm like low key El Chapo whenever I say this, but it's okay. Like I may know, not currently, but I grew up around a lot of drug dealers. It's just that it sucks to suck, but hey, it is what it is. I have a lot of useless knowledge that keeps me aware. Yeah, aware. And I can recognize things in a way that some people don't consider because they've never been exposed to it. Which different strokes for different folks. It is what it is. I'm not a crybaby about it. It sucked at the time, but hey,
you had to learn to just make it.
Yeah. Humans naturally have a very adaptive. We're like chameleons. We adjust and we're very adaptable. But anyway, I think that the way Aiden was talking to Amy, like, oh, I can't be here. It's not safe here. And then all of a sudden, oh, I want to know if the door's locked. I want to know if the door's locked at Grandma Debbie's. It sounds to me like he had some weight on him, which could be what was in that tote. Now, hear me out. Could be what was in that tote. He's nervous because he owes money for it. And he doesn't want it to get stolen. And he's probably nervous because he's not sleeping. He's paranoid. He's been up for a few days. And he's really nervous about not having the money. Okay, he's got some kind of feud going on with these employee at Bros. What's it called? Good Bros or something like that?
The coffee place, yeah.
Yes, okay. Well, he just quits, and then all of a sudden he goes to the Chevron that's now in Carson. Okay, well, right across the street from the Chevron in Carson, one of the 7, there is a Dutch Bros, a brewer, whatever, one of those places. Okay, so who's to say that he owed somebody some money? That's what he was running from, and then he meets
and
up
he
with
was running short.
Right, because he's dipping. You're not supposed to smoke out of your own sack. That's the textbook for rookie 101 drugs.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't do your own shit.
Right. So keeping that in mind, okay, think about the text message that he sent while he was in Reno at the Hotel 6. Amy said that he was texting his friends, and the one that he had a fight with at Dutch Bros, he texted and said, "I'm good," or "We're good." She says that that was his way of apologizing and then making up. Well, who's to say that doesn't mean that he just re-upped or whatever? He's got their money. And, meet up, come get your money. And they were like, hey, you're not going to make, I know how people are in that game. They're going to be like, yeah, everything's good. Come give me the money. And then when you get there, it could, I don't just, right. And I think that whoever that employee is or whatever that drama was, I think that is where it starts because the paranoia. And he's all, I think he got involved in drug dealing and didn't know, but bit off more than he could chew. And it's just odd that Corey dude that was Steve's neighbor got ties to Sonoma, California. And then all of a sudden he pops up right like near Dylan and then disappears the time Dylan disappears. Ain't been seen since. He's stealing gas and he hangs out with Chase. He's a tweaker. Okay. Who's to say that's not who Aiden was meeting in Wells and that he didn't know him back home in California? And that's what ties all of them together. And who's to say that the drugs wasn't in that yellow tote, the black and yellow tote?
The one that came missing.
Right. that was all of a sudden in Dylan's case that Ty was looking for him. And it's, oh, Kurt said it had chicken feet in it. I fucking bet. Who's got chickens? Chicken feet, all right, like chicken heads.
It'd be really interesting to go to this spot where he pulled over to the truck where the witness was at and just start snooping around.
Right, because the first time I ever heard Sleuth Mom talk, Amy said that she talked to Bill Lear. She named him, but his name, and she said that he carried something out the first time he came out. And it was not the guitar. It looks like some kind of bin or tote, and then he came back, didn't come back with the tote, and then he went back and forth 2 more times, and the last time was with the guitar, and he never turned around and came back.
Exactly. And what if this dude, this Lear dude, this witness was witnessing all
this,
and
right.
then he picked up that tub and didn't say, this is why I got to get out there. I need to get out there.
Right, and that's why everybody's got, everybody's keeping quiet, because I'm sure if they all had a hand in, okay, if you don't say nothing, we'll divide the profit, or if they got a drug problem, then I'll break you off some, and that's all it takes with that kind of people. 2/10 for everything, 2/10 for everything.
It'd be easy for me to go out there, candy wrapper. I blend in. I'll blend in
It
easy.
was probably Robert that was the one that ran out, and the Ty sitting on the other side of the mountains, and boom, they take off with the tote, and bada bing, bada boom. And then and then Chase was hiding out right by the loose end pond. That's where his camper was at. Who's to say he wasn't stashing stuff in the grain shed? And maybe that's how that bin ended up there. He put it there. And then, the Jason guy that he stole all of his guns, he said that was stolen from him. Who's to say he's not involved in this drug trafficking shit too? No offense. If you're not, Jason, I'm just.
I talked to Jason. He's, the dude got his guns stolen. He means well. I talk to him all the time.
But he said that bin got stolen, but it's not in the police report. So if that tells me that if he didn't report it, it was probably something that he shouldn't have had anyway. Think about it. If it was ammunition, or if it was something like agricultural, why is it not in the police report? And why is Chase not being charged with it? Unless he couldn't log it, because I'm not going to tell the police that he stole my dope and my guns, And I'm not, this is all alleged and speculation, form your own opinions. And I'm not convicting anybody. This is just rabbit holes I've been down.
I'm going to go to Wells and start snooping around. In a street smart sort of way.
Right. The criminal element,
the just criminal element. Yep.
And I'm not a criminal, but I've been exposed to quite a few. And I'm not a criminal only because, I've had the luxury of not getting caught. I'm not because I haven't broke the law.
It's the plan. It's going to happen. That's what we're doing. That's the next move. I can't let this case go. This one's really messing with my head. It's like trying to outthink a chess opponent, and their moves make no sense. So I got to get out there. I need to figure this out. I want to figure this out. Something. It'd be better to get out there and get a better feel of it. So that's my plan. Put me in, coach. Raising my hand. Let's do this. Mission a go. I will film, record, do everything I can.
And I think there's something to it, because you remember when Dylan first went missing, the FBI was like going door to door. I think it was in Park City, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that was Park Valley, not Park City.
Park Valley, right?
And
okay,
that's a Russian town.
Okay, Park Valley. Okay, that's also where that person is that Chase stole the guns from, because that are not the person he stole them from, but where he went and hid them. That whoever that person is, that the police redacted out of the report, because they kept them confidential. He had guns stashed throughout their whole house, even in their kids' room. That was in Park Valley. Park Valley is also where Candace stopped on the way to Dylan's farm to stop at her cop friend's house and reported Dylan missing.
Exactly.
So
ding, 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 ding. The whole Dylan case. Here, I'll be honest with you guys.
And listen, somebody said that the trooper works for White Pine. Is that a place?
White Pine?
Is that a place down there, or something Pine?
I'll have to look.
Okay, but that was the trooper friend. And then I heard when I was reading Aiden, The very first police that was on site was that same police department. That's true. That whatever.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I'm not. Listen, too many coincidences, too many. And then when you start connecting them, they go to great measures to try to do damage control. Like they'll go on Doug's or go on Lance and do a live stream, and they won't say anything new, but they'll make a point to debunk everything that we brought out, and that's very suspicious to me. Like, you ain't felt the need to say this now, but you feel the need to counteract what we're saying. Why? There's a million YouTubers on there. Why are you listening to us and worried about debunking our theories?
Well, I told
you.
We're
a little old nothing.
I told you to look into the part how she was able to get a search and rescue team out there so quick within an hour or two.
Yeah,
to be able to mobilize,
to
be able to mobilize that fast.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if it's just a search and rescue, this shit still blows my mind. I've never seen a search and rescue for an adult happen within an hour or two.
Well, come on, Mike. 90 minutes after it happened, they found Dylan's boots. This search and rescue? Are you kidding me? They're on the ball, but they can't fucking find nobody. I mean, it's weird. I agree with the fast reaction. Just why would they react that fast and be that diligent to just do nothing?
Well, and then I've always found it funny why people need a social media coordinator.
Yeah, an advocate.
What the fuck?
They use the same one.
And use the same one, yeah. So without overstepping boundaries on that too, there's a lot of things to look into that. If anything, if I had to take my guess,
if you think about it, that would be the fucking smartest way to freaking, what's it called when you do that? When you wash it, laundering money. That would be genius. Oh shit. So you think they're like LARPing and making these like fake missing kids and just funnel like GoFundMe's? Because think about how much they make if this is an ongoing thing on a big spectrum.
Well. There's too many people involved.
Right, but look at all the donations they get. That people just do it because it's a missing kid and they don't look into it.
Well, then you have to have a very cult-like family where people keep their fucking mouth absolutely shut.
Right. Well, Ed always says,
okay,
trust the family. It's some Mormon fucking dialect. Who knows? Maybe we're thinking too small.
Well, you know what's really funny about that when you mention it? I used to have fucking email after email after email from oh God, what the hell's her name? Original Irish Rose. And she used to constantly talk about the family. Like she was meeting with this group of people that she calls the family, and they all were making these decisions together as the family.
What the hell? That's the same one that just met up with Ty.
What?
That's the one is that not the same one that was just looking and on videos going searching with Ty, her and her husband, or is that someone different?
Original Irish Roses, I don't know.
She's somebody new on Facebook now. What's Sabrina Smiles, right? Or YouTube? Sorry.
Yeah, Serena Smiles. Me and Raven thought, not me, Raven, but me and Ranger. I always say Raven because I always see Raven. What's up, Raven? Me and Ranger always thought that was sketch. She'd always email us with some weird fucking dialect and talk about the family. The families,
Oh, that's Lucky Lou. Okay, I'm sorry.
We appreciate what you and Ranger are doing, but the family, we've discussed with the family, and I'm like, who the fuck is this group that you keep referring to, Serena Smiles, as the family?
Kirk kept saying it too, and he said that's Ed says it all the time, and he said Candace does too. And I didn't think Candace was Mormon.
There's some crazy shit.
And
with this
I know
family.
Kirk told me that the only thing that Ed has done as far as like making a conversation about Dylan going missing was felt the need to let him know that he had an alibi for when Dylan went missing, and that to talk Candace up and to shit talk Justin, like to make Candace seem like she was perfect and to make Justin seem like he was a bad dad. And it was odd because it was like, he said it wasn't he wasn't asking him questions. It was like that was his way of making small talk. Like he just wanted to make sure to drive it in, like that Candace was a good mom and Justin was a bad dad.
Well, they really gave up themselves when they jumped from Aiden to Dylan within the same vicinity within a month, and neither one of them made sense. It's like the Aiden Clune story didn't really take off and blossom like they thought, so they made up another one.
Well, they didn't even start talking about Aiden until Dylan went missing. Not on a social media level. I could not find the first post about Aiden until 10 days after Dylan went missing. Now make that make sense, Mike. Why, as a mother, it would be as soon as I couldn't get in contact with him, all over Facebook. I mean, I don't understand the thought process behind these panicked mothers. And I'm sorry, I'm not even trying to be offensive, but I can't make it make sense. And if I'm looking at it wrong, I'm open to, put it in perspective for me. But I cannot. I've tried changing the angle. I've tried even looking at it from, okay, well, maybe I'm a mom. I can't do that. There's nothing about the reactions that suffice to me as enough.
I love teaming with you and thinking things with you because of just how the process of your mind thinks, the way it deep dives. It's exactly on point with how I handle things. And that's why I think we make a great team.
Yes. Because it makes it where, that we're not closed off to, I would, there's not a theory or a suggestion that I would be closed off to looking into, but you're going to have to think a little different to give me one I haven't already done. I can't, between Dylan and Aiden, I can't even tell you how many rabbit holes. It's probably hundreds from the start to the finish. And most of them were waste of times, but I can say without a shadow of a doubt, there's not any theory I've heard that I haven't considered and just said, no, I'm not going to consider that route. And it makes me suspicious when people do that.
So I'm looking through, I'm going back all the way to last year with emails from Ranger, because Ranger used to have the Ranger on Salty Gmail.
He still has it. He emailed me from it the other day.
So I'm going to look back to, holy shit, I got emails from Just Observing. The fuck? That's weird. Okay. Let's see. Ranger, when we were getting this shit, I'm looking back far. Wrap a vest. Ranger Online. Hey, I got an email from Easy Now 90. Mike, would you please remove my content you have been using on your channel? Huh?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What content of his do you have on your channel?
Oh, wow. This is way back. This has to do with Shack Lady.
She's in chat. Alice, what are your sneaky ass doing down there? Better get your butt back up here.
Let me look up these emails some more. I'm trying to find the one where Ranger used to email me about this case. Let me see. Ranger, where are you at? Do you still have these emails? Damn it.
See him getting rid of it.
Oh, I'll find them.
Just like type in his name on your email and it'll bring up all of your threads as long as you didn't delete it. But even if it's in your spam, it'll still come back up. Or the trash, as long as you haven't emptied your trash. Girl Ryan, you probably weren't here, but I was telling Mike that at the beginning of the stream that if you had a lot of information on the Chris Watts case, I would definitely be open to, doing a panel or whatever, talking about it, considering I have to start all over from that. I lost all of my work. Where is Ranger? I'm at home, I would probably assume, by the hour, but physically I'm quite certain he's listening. He's just a little disgusted with the YouTube street, so he's kind of, just been watching as a viewer and staying out of the chat. Smart guy.
Watches from behind the scenes.
I've been watching from the bushes too. Peekaboo, bitches.
Huh. Let me share this real quick. Look at the shit that we went through all summer. Look at this shit. This was back in October. Listen up, whack lady, because I'm only going to say this one more time to you. Who the fuck is this? I have not been fucking with your room in quite a while. I did not watch you last night. And in the past, I tried to talk to you and you spit in my face. Get it through your thick fucking skull that I'm not the only one who dislikes you. You want a war with me, blah, 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 blah. I wonder if that was...
Mr. X, I think is what it says. Forward Mr. X, right?
Subject X.
Yeah, talking about Mr. X, I'm pretty sure.
How much power some of these psychos think they have. You want a war with me? You just keep calling me a motherfucker and asshole when I have done nothing to you. You need to find someone else to blame for your inadequacies on YouTube, because I will make sure it rains nothing but shit on your stream every time you go live. Now go fuck off. We went through that shit all fucking summer.
Yeah, and that's what caused the Great Divide. You know, not to be mean, but that them doing that is why everybody left suddenly, abruptly, because they didn't want to have to deal with that, what we dealt with. Because we didn't back down, we didn't run. We wasn't worried about being exposed. We took the punchline from them, and you know, and it can't expose you if everybody already knows everything about you. And I was the same way that everybody else was. Oh no, I don't want anybody to know me. But then whenever I seen, you know, when I seen the relief that, you know, from Mike doing it, you're doing just, hey, what do you don't have nothing? If you don't hide nothing, you don't. They have nothing over you, and they've moved on from doing it to me as far as that goes. I mean, they still talk crap, but as far as making it a mission to find out who I am, you know, they move on to somebody else. They just want to know who you are, and once they know, they move on to the next person to suppose. They don't. It's being anonymous is like a challenge for them to find who you are. And
exactly.
You know, they find it, and then that's for them. That's scratching the itch, the same itch that we get from connecting these dots on these cases. You know, different strokes for different folks. I don't get off on making people feel bad about themselves. That's their thing. Now I'll put you in your place, and I'm gonna defend myself and people close to me, but I don't seek out to say, okay, how can I wake up today and make this person feel bad about themselves? Because honestly, like, the only one that I would even remotely get pleasure from knowing they're suffering at this point is JT, and that's only because of he's just. I'm as close to hating a person as humanly possible with him, but it's been 10 months of nonstop just cesspool of fuckery. And the only reason why he's not doing that to the extreme that he's doing to Mike is because he's already tried. Him going to Hungry House, he couldn't find enough on me, or he would have been calling my job. But come on, he called my dad's job. What if that would have went the way that he planned for it to go? My dad would not have a job right now, and then my stepmom and my, you know, the fact that that's what he sought out to do, I would never do something like that. Even to my worst enemy. Like, that's not my thing. Okay, I hope your kids don't eat. Like, I don't get pleasure from that.
Let me share this. You guys remember back this was June 4th. We may have found evidence of Dylan being alive. Where can we get fingerprints done in the Utah Valley ASAP? You guys know that was from Dylan's aunt?
Danielle?
We
Or
may
Katie.
have found evidence of Dylan being alive.
Is that from Justin's sister or Candace's sister? Because Denise is the one that used to live next to the Wadsworths. And
attached is a screenshot, is a text message from Dylan's aunt.
Oh, it's a D, so that would be Denise. So that's Candace's sister.
About loading a vehicle. Yeah, him loading stuff into his van Sunday morning or into his pickup truck. I mean, it's a little bizarre. Can you tell us what meth labs have been busted in this area?
Yeah, that was the same shit that Candace was texting Jim at the beginning. And then all of a sudden, everything got scrubbed about meth. All the shit from Heavy Duty D of him saying there's nothing but tweakers here. All of that shit got scrubbed from everybody that talked about it. Like all of a sudden, they were scared to have an opinion.
God, I wish I would have seen this fucking text right here. It says, Kurt and I just talked.
Hold on a second. That says Dylan's Aunt Wells. That's Katie then. Oh, that changes it for me.
Kurt and I gotta get something to drink now. Oh, I shouldn't even deep dive into this and I should have just left this one alone.
No. You done got Mighty Mouse's ears perked up now.
No, it's gonna make me start fucking. I gotta get a drink. Give me 2 seconds. 2 minutes.
Take it down, you little bitch. I'm about to rewind it on my TV.
Fuck off. You guys, I'm not doing this tonight.
Oh, you're not gonna stop me.
You guys, not doing this tonight.
Montello specifically still on my TV, huh? Oh, damn it. It just went off my TV. Shit.
I'll put it back up, but I need to get a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I gotta get one too. It's almost gone. Katie is a photographer in Idaho Falls. Yeah, no. So is his friend Parker. That's he does photography, and he's I don't know. I won't say it because it's not really relevant, but I get he's not straight.
All right, I shared it. Him loading stuff into his van Sunday morning or into his pickup truck. I mean, it's a little bizarre.
Who are they talking about? Brenner?
I don't know.
Who's got a van?
I don't know.
I know what you're
doing.
I think Brenner has a van and a pickup truck.
I know what you're doing.
I mean, a little bizarre. Sunday morning. Who's seen him?
Kurt and I just talked. Kurt was talking to Dylan's aunt June 4th at 3:29.
What the fuck? Kurt's never told me he talked to Dylan's aunt.
Can
Said
you
he
tell
talked
us
to Karen.
No, it says right here, Dylan's aunt Wells. Whatever that means. Huh? Wells. Dylan's aunt Wells. That fucking don't make sense. Dylan's aunt Wells. Why Wells? Can you tell us about the meth labs that have been busted in this area? Kurt and I just talked. I wish I would have had more of that. Boy. September 5th, Ranger emailed that to me from whatever that fucking email is. Let's see, this is 9. I got to go back even more. No, that's it. Damn.
No, I think her married name is Wells. Her maiden name would be Rounds. Because she was adopted the same time Justin was. They're blood half brother and sister, but they were both adopted by Karen and Larry at the same time. But they have the same, if I'm not mistaken, the same mom and different dads in blood, like biologically. But there's no blood relation to Karen and Larry. Like they were adopted. And she's married to someone named Brad Wells. So I would assume that's where the Wells comes in.
I got to find these emails from Serena Smiles. I guarantee I'll find them. I got to find them, and I got to show you what they've been saying. This is why I don't delete nothing or get rid of anything. But let me go over this timeline. On 5/28, Dylan called grandmother. Saturday morning at 6:51, Robert Vilas dropped Chase off in Lucin at a four-wheeler. Weird truck was spotted in Montello at 1 p.m. Local has said that she saw Robert speeding through the town about 3. On 5/29, Grandma Rounds called Dawn to check up on Dylan. also called Kurt at 6:04 p.m. and again at 7:03. He didn't answer. 5:30.
What the fuck?
Gas station clerk said that Robert pulled in right at 9 a.m. to refuel and paid with change.
Yeah, that
Grandma-
was supposedly when Chase was hiding in the floorboard of the car.
Okay. Grandma Rounds called Kurt again at 9:54, and they said they had not found Dylan and were headed down and would follow up with him.
Okay, if that's true, that changes things with Kurt because he made it seem like there was no urgency. If she called you 3 times from Saturday night to Sunday morning, that's urgency. Why didn't you get on your motorcycle and go check on your friend?
Oh, I think he did. John Hughes had footage of Chase and Robert
John Hughes.
right there.
That's the freaking okay. That's interesting because that's the tweaker, like one of the main tweakers out there. Him and Mike Wilson are like the ones dealing it. Like
Really?
they take stolen property and stolen goods for exchange. And that's the one that Paul or that they got the footage of Robert and Chase burying something or digging something up in the yard, and the FBI supposedly came and got the footage, but it wasn't pertaining to Dylan's case. It was the stolen guns case. But yet Robert's already been released on that, and Chase hasn't even went to court. So that make sense.
John Hughes had footage of Chase and Robert digging about 3 a.m. across from his place on
Blow
Paul
me. I couldn't get my
Toshak's-
Wi-Fi to work.
at Paul Toshak's place. Chase and Robert are digging.
I love when shit makes sense.
Grandpa Rounds called Kurt at 7:36 a.m. and asked him to help drain the pond because they saw marks that looked like he could have slipped into the pond. On 5:31. Wait a minute. 5:31. June 3rd. Wait a minute. Something's not adding up here. Around
5:31 in the morning.
No, this was the date, May 31st. But from what we found out, that didn't happen Wait a minute. They said that happened the same fucking day. Help me understand it here, you guys. Around 4:15 p.m., Kurt's daughter called him about psychic info. Kurt called Grandma first and Candace. There was 8 calls between Kurt and Candace.
Huh.
6-1. Chase was named a person of interest.
That matches up with the shit that Justin was posted because remember the very first time Justin posted the $5,000 reward for Chase's whereabouts was June 1st, but Candace didn't post about it until June 3rd.
On the
Weird
3rd
shit.
is when Jim Terry was named the PI. Okay, I'm gonna jump out of this one. Oh, fuck! I gotta stay on one. Yeah, I start this shit, and then I stay up all night because I can't sleep because my mind just wanders, and then I'll jump online and start going over things. But I need to stay focused on Aiden Clune.
Yeah, but if they connect, don't fight it.
It's too much to take in.
I feel you. Trust me, but
Shit.
you can't help it when they connect. You can't just be like, oh no,
The mind
this is
fuck.
crazy. Man,
Oh, I told myself I wouldn't do this tonight.
I know. Look at you. I told myself that too. I told myself I wasn't even live streaming tonight, but here we are.
Well, then you would have lied last night because you said you'd do it today anyhow.
Oh yeah, well that's it. That was Mike's lie. He said we were going live this morning, but apparently he did.
Well, he did.
We did. We went live at 12:30 on Facebook and Facebook only.
Fuck off.
I didn't want to brisk anybody's channel. I care about you guys. I was posting sensitive information. Last thing I need is you to be affected by that, and I'm not going to put you in the middle of that. I can do it.
I'm a big girl, so is he. I mean,
Well, I care, so I'm not going to put that
and
responsibility
I
on you.
appreciate it.
Now I can't think now. Now my mind's saying, screw the live stream, start deep diving.
Better
Hey,
life
read
for the
that,
sage,
Alex.
clear your mind.
Alice, read what Corey just said.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off because I'm curious. This is what it does to me, and it affects me in these ways. But I'm gonna go. I appreciate all you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna come up and tell you. I forgot.
Now I'm
Utah, Colorado. The Chris Watts case happened in Colorado, but all of a sudden there's a pagan tie to the mistress, and her dad lives in Nevada, and now she's off the grid, which probably means she lives with her dad.
A pagan
Nevada.
star, maybe.
Yes, man, and the what's it called? The fucking name, the Harvest.
The Harvest, yes, just me. The Facebook thingy is up still. That's just there to be there. The Harvest, yes. Look at Steve posted something on the Harvest about Las Vegas. Something popped up. I gotta go.
The Hills Have Eyes.
What? That's for real? That's not just a movie?
The Hills Have Eyes. It's based off
the Hills Have Eyes. Wrong Turn. Are you fucking kidding me?
The hills definitely have eyes.
Oh God, my God. Little mole people, y'all freak me out.
Yeah, after where that old nuclear test site is, there is a town that's that fucked up in Jax.
Well, the Whitakers are in the Appalachian Hills, so I guess that is a thing. Virginia, in odd Virginia.
No,
is that the people that bark and communicate by barking and making
no,
funny
that's
noises?
all he knows how to do is bark, because he just mimics the dog, because their genes are so mutated from so many different generations of being inbred that, I mean, the space between their eyes says it all. And I'm not trying to make fun, but it's bad. They have very, very like physical and mental deformities, and it gets worse and worse because it's generational.
What if there is something going on so sinister, and then you got people like Candace who are not involved, but she caught wind of something, and
Who says she's not involved? Because listen, I don't care what nobody says. I know for a fact I've been looking into her low key behind the scenes, not even talking to nobody about it. And all of a sudden, when we started talking about it, all of a sudden the fucking 3 trucking companies that you have in one household, they're all of a sudden now they're inactive. I'm on to you. I don't care how that makes me sound.
I understand.
If you're offended, this isn't the place for you.
You touch on that one, and I'll do Aiden.
I don't care. I'm not scared to do it. You're not going to tell me that I'm wrong because something doesn't look right. You explain to me why it is that way, and I'll stop talking about it.
Would that mean Kylie Rodney's mom was in on it too?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
Fuck, you're gonna make me go crazy now.
Listen, any mom that's on TV talking about their child with no tears streaming down their face is suspicious. I don't give a shit. Amy, you're on the list too.
Your boy Salty's going out there. We're going to go out to Wells. We're going to go out to mile marker 23. I'm not going to tell you the day, but I'm going out there. That's my word. We're being boots on the ground. We're going to get into this one. Before I have to start, I got to go back to work in at least another 3 weeks, guys. I can't sit here and do this shit. Like I got to work. That's what you need to, that's what you got to do. I left my job to YouTube full-time and can't YouTube full-time now. So going to have to get back to work. But before I get back to work, I'm going to go out there to Wells.
See it through, which is the right thing to do.
See it through. So I have the time to go do this real quick. Get the video footage. Talk to whoever I can talk to without giving us away.
Yep.
And see what the fuck. I need to get out there to get a better feel. Man, are these kids? I don't know. You'd almost think that they're all connected in some way or somehow they're still alive. You would hope that's the matter. You would hope these something.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's something going on, like with these trucking companies and transport, the highway patrol. You gotta have it. It's weird. There's connections with these things because if you think about it on an organization like say like a or what's it called, racketeering level, like if you think about it, for them to be able to transport stuff that is off the record, or they're going to be heavy and the scale not going to be able to get through the scales, they're going to need somebody in DOT to check the boxes and to overlook shit, or they wouldn't be getting away with it that long. So that means that would make sense that there's corruption government wise, DOT. It just seems odd that these cases that have nothing to do with each other, that are spread out, but yet they have ties to the same agencies, the same organizations, and they all have some kind of weird ties to trucking companies. Alex Easterling, the dude that his house, the drug dealer, he owns a trucking company. Now, what
Think about
heroin
it though.
dealer?
The trucking is the best way to do it. It's the best way to move shit. It is
Exactly.
the absolute best way. Look at what they used to do back in the 20s when they had the lockdown on all the alcohol.
And
They were
all
still
of them,
moving it.
if you look them up on DOT and search them, every one of them they're registered to transport random things, but all of them have people like a passenger. You know, it's in their thing that they can transport passing, but they're licensed for it. And it's like, okay, well, if you're doing farm and agriculture, why do you need to be licensed to traffic people?
But we're not saying all the truckers, because you got to have a few honest ones out there just to be legit.
No, I'm not even talking about the ones driving them. I'm talking about the ones running them.
Oh yeah, all of them though. There's got to be a few innocent ones here and there. I mean,
most of the time the truckers don't even know what they're transporting because they're not getting out and checking the load like that. There's ones that do know or whatever, but for the most part, on that big level, you don't ask no questions and you just run your load. You know.
That's what my cousin Mike said. He was a trucker for a long time. He did long distance, and my uncle Doug, before he passed, he used to be a trucker as well, and he did long distance.
You're the catfish. Okay. Sorry. Just not to go off topic. I think I told you that already, Mighty Mouse. Remember before we started?
Yes, Catfish 33. Something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the same one. If it is, just type out 333. You'll know. Then I can say thank you. Unexpected. I was like, wow, who's that? I don't. Catfish 33. But if it is, thank you.
Oh, listen, just me. That's some good thinking. Those hidden compartments. That makes sense why Candace has $1 million Peterbilt completely customized and rebuilt. I wonder how many hidden compartments are in that bitch. Why do you have $1 million truck, but yet your family is going belly up as far as, you know, having to put loans.
And you're working at Costco?
Yes, and come on, I've seen no proof that she's ever worked at Costco. But anyway, she's damn sure co-owner and owner of like 4 different trucking companies that just mysteriously have went inactive since we've started talking about it. So what's really going on? And why do you need when you don't even have a CDL? Why do you need $1 million truck? Is this like cartel money or something? I mean, I could go a couple different routes, but it don't make sense, lady.
Especially for just a dispatcher.
She's not even that. She starts out as the secretary, and somehow within 90 days, she's all of a sudden the business owner, the co-owner, and the old men die.
We're going to look into that.
My husband said blowjobs. That's how.
We're going to look into it, Joan.
She's got to be pretty good at it then if that's the case.
Hey, listen. She's got a mouthpiece, so it wouldn't surprise me. Talk. She can talk. If she could, let me stop.
She sure got some pretty lips.
Well, you know, the last ex she ran off on paid for the new boobs, so apparently everybody else is reaping the benefits of them because he said he didn't even get to take them for a test drive before she ran off.
That's some sick shit. I've known a few guys that I worked with that said the same thing about their ex-wives.
Do you see the 333, Mike?
I did. Thank you. Thank you, Catfish. That's a start too. That helps me get closer to Wells. Helps ease the burden a little bit.
Brian, if anybody has a trucking company near Montello, no, but between the Rounds and the Coolies, there's literally like 6 of them between the 2 families. And I'm not even including aunts and uncles. Literally, they all own their own trucking company. And Justin owns a trucking company as well as a custom farming that Colton pretty much runs. And then Larry's got his own farming thing. Candace has 3 herself. And then her husband has 1. Her dad and her brother both have 1. That's Cooley Brothers. And I believe her husband's family is affiliated with trucking.
What we're doing right now.
Dylan's stepbrother, which is Mike's son, just got popped for trafficking in meth, and he drove one of his dad's trucks. So, and then Aaron gets popped right around this time too with a shit ton of fentanyl and a shit ton of meth.
Too much.
Didn't Justin say one time he didn't want her drugs in his trucks?
He had so much meth, he knew who that supplier was. They know who the supplier was, whether it
And
was
they
coming from
followed him.
California or not.
Yes, they followed him to California and let him pick it up, followed him all the way back to Idaho, waited for him to distribute it to a couple people, and then popped his ass. So I wonder where he's going to California. Was he meeting up with Aiden?
He probably didn't pay the right fine or the right bribe.
Or what if he was dealing it and he gave a little chunk of it to Aiden?
This is what I missed. I missed this. This is what makes me happy without all the distractions and the chaos and the.
Because I know that's how he
And
got
with
started.
those barrels in the desert,
he got crumbed into it. Kurt told me Dustin like 15 years ago, the same way, got approached and thinking he was going to make some quick money, and consequently he's got a 15-year meth habit. But it was Ty Corbin and his son that got, not Aaron, Dustin is Ty's son, that got him on it. So who's to say he's not? Here you go, little kid. Here, go make you some money and give him a shit ton of dope, and you see how that happened. If that's what happened, it would make sense for the paranoia. All of his events and him driving all those places because he's making sales. He's stopping at motels, selling dope and trying to get his money back. Hello, sorry. That's why he's worried about doors locking, because he don't want somebody to come in there and put down on his ass.
Damn.
It's why I'd like to talk to his grandpa, because his grandpa had to have caught wind of it, and that's why
his
he tried to
mom was
kidnap him.
nosy. He had to block her to get peace. She was more than a helicopter mom. She was smothering. I don't give a fuck. That was a little much.
I like how your mind thinks.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I could benefit from all my childhood trauma.
This is exactly what Puff Muffin was said, looking at every avenue.
Yeah,
and look at all them barrels in the desert. That's another way to make it too.
Right, and look, exactly, and that's been scrubbed too. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Alice. All that from Mob, Monsters Under Our Bed. When he went out there the first time with the drone, there was all this fucking, every 50 feet there was a barrel like that you can only see like a couple of feet of it from buried under the ground. That shit's scrubbed from the footage, and that's textbook for.
That's a new way of making it, yeah.
Okay, and then that video that Ty is in, his very first video on his own channel when him and Lance broke up or whatever we're calling that.
And not to mention Brenner's trailer blew up.
That he's in with weird chemicals and other shit that I'm not saying I know the process, but I'm just saying it looks a little odd.
Not to mention Brenner blew his trailer up too. Now, why did that happen?
Exactly.
They were out there making meth. I'll tell you the truth.
Did he get the recipe wrong and blow himself up?
I'm going to tell you the truth.
It's a volatile recipe regardless, so it's very, very volatile.
There's a lot of them out there. They're all making meth.
And then you bring the freaking biker group to come look for him. Did he owe the bikers money? Like, what were they watching you? Were they trying to help you find him? Or like, it's just an odd sense of events. Like, come on, why are you got a biker group or a Jeep group on Facebook? They look like a biker group if I've ever seen one. Coming looking for missing people. Since when are they search and rescue? Unless they're searching for their money or their dope. It's not a child. He's 19 years old. There was nothing to make the criminal element for the police to even consider it.
You don't have to be an adult to be with the drugs.
This makes me happy.
Yes, this right here is what they're not. This is what is what I mean.
This is why I love all you guys. This makes me happy.
And it's crazy that other people on YouTube aren't doing this because I
feel like we're back again. The crew, like our mojo, our momentum is back again.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The only thing we're missing is Ranger.
I mean, granted that they're both boys and everything, and we're got to get off the track that maybe they're not as innocent as we have them in our head as being, too.
Who's to say that call that Justin got wasn't a prank call about, if you better come get him, or with the cartel, because I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, and I hope this doesn't cause any harm, but Kurt has told me several times that this, he doesn't want to talk about it on air, but that it has ties to the cartel.
Don't you just love chat? What we
that
talk
in
about?
Itself would be, they're real big with the meth, especially around in this area.
That picture of Dylan, the last picture that someone took of him, he's chawing his jaw. He is on it, daggone it. And if that's offensive, I'm sorry. That is the way
this is true crime. This
is
the definition of true crime. This is what creators should be doing. Looking into things, deep diving things, questioning the conspiracies, questioning the things that don't make sense, and putting your heart into what matters the most. Finding what happened to these kids. If you're not doing that, then you're a part of some weird agenda.
Yeah, and you shouldn't be considered
Which means having to admit that maybe they were in doing the drugs and got caught up in it. Very well likely could have happened.
I know if you live near the border, you could get snatched, and they're going to make you mule it back and forth across because you're less likely to get caught when you're young, and plus, and if you do get caught, you'll get less jail time because you're not an established criminal. So
now we're probably kicking ourselves in the ass, thinking, "Damn, maybe IML was right."
They'll deliver that shit with their kids in the car just to be looking normal to everybody looking in.
Do you know how long IML has been screaming trafficking drugs, Mexico?
Oh, listen, I believed her. It was when she started getting into the power line company shit that she lost me there because I don't see that.
She could have been deep diving.
Yeah, but it was, it wasn't like, I don't know. Why would it's not
but
like
now I feel so fucking bad though. I feel bad that we kind of like pushed her to the side and
not really. I don't.
She was getting real shitty.
Very hateful to the people in chat, and I'm gonna protect them.
And on panel.
Yeah, she was always either blocking everybody and talking shit, or just very attacking to our chat members. And at the end of the day, my loyalty is to protect them, and she's just the soprano voice irks me.
And not to mention when she'd be up here and the way she'd attack other panelists
and you guys, Robert is in jail again.
Is he?
The dude's in jail. Oh yeah.
No more rehab, huh?
No, well he dipped.
No,
on rehab.
He got new charges.
He dipped on rehab because supposedly, according to Ty,
Absconded.
He called him. Yeah, he called Ty and wanted Ty to pick him up, and supposedly Ty told him no, but I don't believe that.
Guess who was? Well, no, that's not exactly. No, Ty was definitely involved. But guess what? He got in trouble with more stolen guns, meth.
You don't say.
Meth, stolen property. This is Ty's buddy, you guys, and he's fucking already in trouble with guns and stolen property and meth.
Looks like he got out and went right back to his stash.
Come on, people.
Probably what they've been out there looking for.
You think fucking Ty was after us this whole time just because he wanted to see salty nuts? No, we were onto something.
Dude, you busted him and Annie right in the middle of the freaking drug deal. You can see it on their faces.
We ruined their bread and butter.
It's in the middle of the freaking summer. She's got a space heater in the passenger seat of her car. What the hell are you doing, lady?
Y'all know what the fuck is going on here. Why do you think we were attacked so hard every day? Every day.
Listen, and Steve, ask Steve about the drug trade in Montello and let him tell you a story.
And why did everybody haul ass out of there, Raven? Everybody got out of there. Everybody got the fuck up out of there. There's nobody there no more.
And Ty keeps going back and forth to Arizona like every 90 days. What the hell is he doing? Re-upping with Ed?
Oh, especially Golden Valley's real big on that.
And he's staying in motels. That's textbook for dope deals. You don't shit where you eat.
Almost 11 months ago, I came out and told you the truth.
And listen, Aiden was in Motel 6. Was he stopping and making sales? That would make more sense than he was sleeping, because I don't think he was doing much of that by his paranoia and his behavior.
They tried to get me to get to with Ty. That's what I was led to. Jim set all that shit up to go meet with Ty.
And he gave you a sorry excuse of a tour. It was a little weird.
Yeah, the first moment I met him too, my spider senses said, "Get the fuck away from this dude." Immediately. And that's what I've been telling you since day one. Since day one. I've been calling this motherfucker out since day one. I knew it's like I had this intuition feeling.
The criminal element plus, and the third eye, that all of it combined.
Oh, it was screaming at me. It was screaming at me, pointing my finger, saying, "That motherfucker right there." That's why I got away.
Kylie said the same thing, that she didn't even interact with him, but just from what she's seen of him, he made her skin crawl. She couldn't explain it, but it was just the most chilling and just unsettling. Get away from him.
And ever since then, through comments, how many times have you seen me leave
crazy
comments
eyes
on other people's chats and call Ty out saying, "What'd you fucking do to Aiden? What'd you do to Dylan?"
No, you'll call him out on your own panel.
Would you traffic
him around other panels? No.
I've been calling this motherfucker out since day one. Day one. And you know what? We've stepped onto something because we've been getting attacked by these same fucking people since day one.
I just thought the way he showed up on Doug's and would call Doug's all the time was just a bit odd, and he just had an input to say about everything.
I would love to hear that, Candy Rapper. I didn't know that. I missed it if you've been saying it. She said, I told you guys from the beginning I'm friends with Robert's step grandma
Yeah,
and his
she has.
and uncle, and I don't know Robert, but I've heard lots of stories.
She said that a time or two. She's the one who confirmed about the rehab thing.
Oh, and listen, Beth's got a good point. Hush money paid in small areas. Mike, what have we discussed behind the scenes several times about the 20 grand here, 20 grand there?
Make sense of the money, you guys. All these people seem to get around the same kind of amount of money at the same time, and they all disappeared.
In opposite directions.
Okay?
And this ain't speculation. This is facts.
This ain't conspiracy talk. It's not because we're mental fucking nut jobs. We're thinking this through on every route way you could go.
And Ed's the only one we haven't been able to pin down yet.
Yep, 20 grand for Dawn, 20 grand to Troy apparently, and there was
something else.
Taylina's husband, remember?
Well, I don't know what's really going on over there.
Yeah, but I mean, it all happened at the same time.
And her husband's a police officer, isn't he?
No, they own a company.
Okay.
You know, you guys, people know. You guys, there's people in chat who know Taylin and all these guys, and I still, there was money.
According
and it all
to
came down at the same time.
Yeah, according to what Kurt told me about the 18K, that it was a loan that Troy had got from his uncle that taken out on the Cowboy Bar, and he was going to pay him back, and got pulled over either before he got there or whatever. But it wasn't exactly 18,000. It was a little over, but it was in cash in like a bank bag.
And they kept it, didn't they?
Well, business must have been good. Business must have been going good at this time when Dylan was missing. I thought shit was going bad.
Well, supposedly the police took it, and it wasn't in, it wasn't logged in his property or whatever, and
they took all of it.
He's saying that the cops are saying that to take it up with the tow truck company, they probably took it. Regardless, there's no evidence of it being in the truck, but according to Kurt and Troy, it was in the truck whenever he got pulled over and went over. So it's just gone.
Pass off.
And Dawn, I don't know where he's at. He's went off and ran off and ain't been. I'm not saying he hasn't been seen since, but he's off the radar. I haven't heard.
Kaylee,
anything.
Where is anybody?
Right.
First, they're all there. You know, they all have this plan to build up properties and lands, and then, boom, now everybody's gone. They came in, did their thing, and left.
Well, think about it. That place isn't as destitute as people think. Those people, they've gotten cash throughout their life doing something or another to be able to live out there. You can't
But you think Don sold some property, got that money, and went fishing?
That's what was told. He sold a piece of property, and him and his son went fishing. That's like I'm going to see a guy about a dog.
See, that makes no sense.
Let me sell
so
my
many of them,
so I can go fishing.
So many of them got those lands just to get away from people and to keep.
Now, another thing that Corey has told me months ago that she's kind of always, she's never really backed down from it, is that there could be something going on as far as like drops from planes, out there in the desert with there being nobody around.
And you know what? And I'm sorry, Steve, but Steve said the same thing to us once in chat. You weren't there that day, Kaylee, but he said the same thing once.
Right. And with Dylan being known to be doing, some farming late at night because of him being so busy, who's to say that he wasn't out there farming and seeing something that he shouldn't have, as far as that, and somebody, picking up a drop or whatever. And it's weird that Dan's got a private plane and apparently access to a private landing strip. I didn't realize Juniper Airstrip was that's his backyard. And she said that from the beginning. I will say that, like, she brings it up at least once every couple of weeks. She brings it back up. Don't forget. And she's always said that political money. And if it's high enough up that they say this kid ain't going to be found, that he's not going to be found. And she's never backed her down from that.
She said the same thing to me along the lines of that, but before she said anything to me, Steve was saying the same thing. That's why I want to we were in a really good conversation, and I will not name her, but she kept interrupting and trying to pull it someplace else.
Right. Beth said planes drop dusk or dawn. That's a good point. But isn't that like all restricted airspace? So, you know, that would have to be. Yeah, like I don't know. It gets so weird, man. How do you have restricted airspace? Like you can't fly here. What happens if you do? You'll shoot you down?
People have their own planes that they use to dust their own fields. So it's no problem
Listen,
trying
I
getting a
seen a
plane under
video on
radar.
Dan Iverson's Facebook where he's literally herding cattle in a helicopter.
Yeah, we played it.
Yeah, it's quite common. So it wouldn't be
Lazy son of a
that
bitch.
far
Call
off.
yourself a rancher. Who the fuck? Lazy son of a bitch.
Well,
It
Kaylee,
wouldn't be that far off.
Kaylee, can I ask you a question? Why wasn't he out there with his helicopter helping Candace?
Oh, God.
Yeah, why'd they have to call Heavy
Good
D?
fucking question. Because he's got 2 of them, according to his Facebook. Like the little, you know, the expensive little, you know, little big money. How are you making that much money being a fucking cattle rancher? Or horse breaker?
That's actually quite lucrative if you do it right.
And listen, I was digging deep on his Facebook, and he's got some ties to some ranch that he owns or just sold in fucking Arizona.
Driving cattle can be very lucrative, actually. Now, the regular farmers, now that's,
Don't call
and
yourself a
they got
cowboy
money.
if you're freaking overclimped by freaking herding cattle. God. Shame
There's
on you, Joe.
catfish. There's catfish. Catfish. Thank you for your
Your
cash app. Yeah. It's gonna go to a great cause. It's gonna go towards funding the trip to Wells.
Red Horse, that is another good point, because I've also talked to Kurt about that guy. His name's like, how do you say it? He's like Shlekosabakian, or however you say that. Ivan or Igo or something, but he stays at the old, like what used to be the Lucin airport, and he lives in it now, and he like makes hang gliders and stuff. Okay, well, he also, according to what Kurt told me, he makes like these fucking 3, I don't know how he makes it, but they're untraceable guns.
Whoa. Who's Candy Rapper?
And Candy Rapper, she's in chat.
Candy Rapper's been around for a minute.
Yeah, that's the one that knows Robert Avelius' step grandma.
She's mentioning stuff about Heber. She's only 30 minutes. You live in Heber?
Yeah, she's been saying that.
And Raven makes a good point too.
I fly into Heber. I know the airport. I pass that. This person would have to know I pass this airport every day when I'm going to work.
Oh, if an elite person calls military, they can get the planes flown. That's a good point, Beth. So that goes hand in hand with the high up corruption, you know, how they get away with it because they know somebody high enough up to get it overlooked.
Oh, I know who Candy Rapper is. They changed their name. Right? Isn't that Vadis?
I think so.
Okay.
But I didn't want to assume.
That's why I got confused. I pass that airport.
Yes, horse trainers do make a lot of money. But Raven makes a good point too. How did Troy have that kind of money to pay his uncle back for a bar that's only open 2 days a month?
I agree, especially whenever you only get paid. Pretty much the bars are only open. The only thing keeping the bars open, by the way it was described to me, is the slot machines. They're not making money like
even
from
a
the
bar
bars.
open all the time like it should be, it would not pull in that much in such a little time.
No, because from my understanding, they're nice to everybody in town, and everybody's got a tab, and the bar and the restaurant is not making money. They would not be open if it wasn't for them slot machines.
And then again, they're only open twice a month.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true, because every time I've talked to Kurt, they're hanging out at the bar. So I think it's just like it's
officially
just a chill
open
spot,
twice a month.
just somewhere to go hang out and drink a beer at the end of the day.
Because I know in Wisconsin, before the Penbine closed down all the way, when they had originally first closed down, everybody still went there and hung out, but they'd open every now and then actually open. But everybody would still come and hang out.
Open, close, because everybody in town, it's like supposedly the saddle store is never open, but the door's always unlocked. Everybody can come in when they want. Every time I talk to Kurt, somebody comes and bombards them uninvited.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying with the bar and Penbine. So yeah, I can see that, but they still
beer.
Officially open now and then.
Right. Yeah. I don't. According to the sign, they do karaoke, and when I asked Kurt, he said they ain't done karaoke in like 7 years.
And then why the fuck they have the sign?
I don't know.
I'd be pissed, man, because I like to do karaoke when I drink.
As soon as that mile marker hits 3 hours, that'd be a good time to jump off for me.
Yeah, me too. I need to deep dive this shit.
I love this.
I'm
really.
telling you.
I don't know how to say that. I live in say that, Mike?
Duchesne. She lives in Duchesne. That's
Is that close?
No, not really that close. About a couple hours. But I'll tell you what's cool about her and the area that she's in, which I would love to meet up with her. Vadis, yeah, I know it's you. Vadis lives close to
what, Area 51? Dugway? What?
You would think it's Area 51, where we wanted to go and hang out. The ranch. The Bigelow Ranch.
Skinwalker?
Yep.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god.
She is within minutes. Fort Duchesne, I believe, out in that area. It's where it's at. So she could probably be there within 30 minutes.
Dude, I'm still coming to visit.
So as much as and curious I am with that Skinwalker Ridge, you know, I've watched plenty of videos and documentaries about it. The first time I heard about Skinwalker Ridge, honestly, I was in prison. And back in the 1998, I was reading like an article. We used to have like a little prison newspaper, and that's what they talked about. There was an article about it. I thought, wow, this is really cool. I can't wait to get out, and I'm going there. I went there one time, but I couldn't find it.
Listen.
I'm going to go there again because I think it's really interesting. It's a hot spot for paranormal energy. Yada, yada.
Listen, that shit freaks me the fuck out, Mike.
No, that stuff makes me super excited.
Oh my god, we're different people. Because listen, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. Like, what if something attaches to you and you take it home? Kylie will kill you.
Oh fuck! I've been around this cesspool for 10 months.
She's gonna make you get blessed by a fucking priest before she lets you back in the house.
Well, that's
all, right, because both her and your wife was getting
Duchesne.
Remember when I was showing you those videos?
That's all Indian land.
Oh yeah, you remember that, Alice? That's me in real life. Like I'm screaming and yell I'm like, if it scares me, Alice, I swear to God, our friendship will not survive it. I will never talk to you again.
No, y'all. I want to do get the spirit box and go out there in the middle of the night. I don't want to. It's got to be either pitch black or a full moon, right in the hot spot. Turn on live and
supposedly
that's not you, Bright.
Go crazy and they don't work there.
I don't know. I get a rush from that. I love the paranormal stuff. I love the boogie. I like to see who the boogeyman is.
Paranormal, what's going on there, Mike?
That's okay. It's interesting.
I think it's more extraterrestrial. You know, that aspect.
Well, maybe I'll put my thumb up and ask for a ride. Maybe Marshall will come down. I don't know.
What's gonna happen if they probe your butt like they did Lincoln?
I've been on this mission to try to meet them. You ever been on a mission to try to meet them? No, in all reality.
You know, there's this little mining town that you can't get to right next to Area 51. I actually know the people that they're trying to push out of this town. And she's the last one holding out to not sell because her grandfather didn't want to sell.
In all reality, I'm being honest with you. I'm on a mission to find and to have a conversation with them. They or whoever you fucking want to call them. I've already been through the funny stuff, the silliness and everything else. I'm to the point now. Fuck all the dumb shit. Just let's meet already. Can we do it to lunch or? That's why I try to chase. I want to know who the boogeyman is. I'm going to go in the dark and find him.
Oh God, don't tell me you're going to go looking for the Slender Man next.
Nah, I'm really
sometimes
curious,
you just got to show up and pull the mask off.
Well, it makes sense. I think Jelly Roll did a song about it. It's called like Monsters or whatever, but it puts in perspective, you know, like whenever you've been exposed to the stuff you've been exposed to, like monsters are like, oh, you know, like children's books, like, hey, little guy, you know, that's not scary. So I get what you're saying, Mike.
No, it ain't scary at all. I'm down to the point. This is where the road has ended for me.
You got to realize a lot of it's in your mind, your mind playing tricks on you, making you think that it's as scary as it is.
What we were manufactured and designed to be scared of, you know? I agree.
Well, I wasn't manufactured and designed.
Well,
We've
yeah, because
always
look at everything we
accepted
watch.
it in
We
our
watch
family.
movies that's supposed to be scared of the boogeyman and stuff like that. That's not real, but instead we should be making our kids scared of the ones that are hiding in plain sight, but they don't do that.
I've been trying to chase these people for the last 20-something plus years. I think almost 90, 2000, 20, 23, 25 years since I first caught wind of them.
Beth and Red Horse, get this, and I'm not joking. I'm just telling you the facts. That bar, the Cowboy Bar and the Saddle Sword, the name of the street is Front Street.
It's as funny as Dead Hooker.
Oh, it's listen, if it's ironic, it's almost like you bold, arrogant sons of bitches, if that's true. Like, could you? Yeah, I'm not gonna say that.
That's the best place to do it, is right out
That
in
would
plain
make
sight,
sense,
right in
right?
front
The
of you.
only
Because
thing-
then, why would you?
only
What
thing
would
lit
you
up on the
thinking?
sign-
Why would you be doing that? You're right. I'm right here. Why would you be doing that right in front of me? You wouldn't have the balls, and that's the
Exactly.
best time to do it.
Hide in plain sight, and the only thing on that sign that lights up is ice here.
I mean, I knew somebody that used to deal right in front of the cop shop because they didn't think he would be doing something like that right in front of the cop shop.
I'm the kind that looks for K's just to see if there's really reptilians, Raven.
All right, I am though.
I know it sounds kind of cuckoo, but
After all, what is darkness without a little light?
trust
Or
me,
light
you told
without
me,
a little darkness?
you told me there was a monster, an alien, or Bigfoot over there. I'm the first to start running to see
Listen,
if it's true.
I don't know about no Bigfoot, but I tell you what, in Polk City we got a skunky monkey, and fuck around and find out.
So you would have been one of those people in Independence Day that would have been up on the roof holding the sign saying, "Welcome."
No, I would have waited till they landed. I would have had that gal waving welcome first, just to make sure no funny shit goes on.
Skunky
I'm the
monkey and
I'm the guy that's
chupacabra.
hiding in the shadows, watching the shit first, and once they land and everybody goes, then I'm gonna go up into the UFO and then talk to whoever's up in there.
Something lands in my house, I'm peppering that bitch until I run out of bullets. That's all I'm saying.
Hell
I'm
no,
getting
trying to
water
meet
like in the signs.
I'm trying to meet the captain.
We don't come in peace. Get the fuck out of here.
I just got the question of why. That's it.
See if
Well,
it's bulletproof.
I like what Kathy Madigan said, a comedian. She goes, "That's why the aliens don't come here. We're like the Alabama of the solar system."
And listening from where we're at, we call LA Lower Alabama.
Spirits
From
are drawn
LA?
to Raven. I have conversations with these people in my head all day, Raven.
I mean,
the
Say
think
that
of,
out loud. Oh my
the guy
God,
behind
Mike.
me.
You're gonna listen. Oh God, he is not schizophrenic. Calm down.
I mean, our
shaman-
first
Say it to
reaction would
yourself.
be to dominate them. Why would the fuck would they want us to know they're there, even though
Listen,
they've already been
Listen,
here?
schizophrenic. Is that how you said schizophrenic? That's not a bad thing.
Schizophrenic, yeah.
Do you know anything? Do you know
Schizophrenic?
about Do you know anything about the shamans
The shamans, like the Jews.
in schizophrenic?
They were
and
all
how
schizophrenia.
how they believe that's a gift from God.
So is schizophrenia like a design disease? That's what, like, if you talk to spirits, they make you think you're crazy.
I don't
Well,
think I don't think you're misinterpreting as some kind of mental condition like a disease.
Yeah, but I'm
See, that's where they was always mistaken for, though, all through history.
Well, that's
Well,
what
what
they
it-
want you to make you. That is, these people can't be around. They're a threat.
Yeah, but I don't see a spirit telling you to kill people. Like,
There is
I mean,
no
come on.
spirits. Who's telling these spirits to kill? That's different.
How?
That's completely different. When you're blessed with that kind of gift, the shamans believe. There's someone who said it better than me. The shamans believe you got that gift, they bring you in. They cleanse your soul. They take all that negative part about it away.
Oh,
And then they guide you to where you need to listen. It's
I get
a lot
it.
deeper than that.
I get it. Like a what's it called? An experiment, like a lab rat. I get what you're saying, Corey. Like, so it. She said we are all just study ants to them. Corey is Jewish.
Yeah.
It could be. Just like, look at cows. You think they know what their purpose is in life?
They don't.
You give them
Aren't
a
they like
field.
holy?
You give them some water, give them a little bit of hay, nurture them, love them. Then you fucking eat them at the end.
Corey, you would love that book by Stephen King. Oh my God, what the hell was the name? I just had it in my head, where he talks about where they get stuck in this glass bubble, this whole town. It's this glass they can't penetrate, and it all boils down to aliens studying us like we would under
Well,
glass.
that's exactly
Ants
where I
under a
told you to the
magnifying
point.
glass.
That's exactly what I just told you. That there's a roadblock right here, and the only other direction is okay. Who are you? Let's meet. We know you're there. We know you're there. Fuck, there is no pretending. Just come out. Do you want me to come out and take my mask off? No, keep that bitch on.
Okay, Mr. X.
Let's go to lunch. Schedule a lunch date. I'll keep my mouth shut. Right, Steffers? Steffers would be down to go too. I know she'll keep her mouth shut. We just want to know.
I ain't keeping my mouth shut. I'm telling everybody, so don't bring me. They try to touch me, I'm telling. I'll blow my whistle.
Dude, I will fucking call Marshall so quick. She said, I'll blow my whistle.
I'll blow it.
The distress missile.
My rape whistle.
See, this is why you got to carry knives.
Do you have a whistle?
I was
Yes.
just whistling.
Dude, my stepdad can whistle like a cricket. It's crazy.
Shit, now I gotta wait till 3 minutes and 3 hours and 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You down to do that?
Yeah, and when you miss it again, it'll be 3 hours and 33 minutes. So go ahead.
Hell yeah. Sign us up, Hunt Steffers. Let's go. What if they took you and they said, look, we're gonna put you on this other planet and your job will be to control these people through us. We'll give you lavishes, homes, protections, yachts. But there's an agenda. What?
Will they have Kool-Aid?
You feed us your kids. No, fuck the Kool-Aid. I'm being serious, Alice. You feed us your kids. When we want your kids or we want that, whatever, give them up.
I would explain the disappearances in the national parks where they just seemingly vanish into thin air. And sometimes they come back like miles away with not even
no shoes.
With no shoes. With not even a scrape.
What if it's like that though? They
Just
take you
slightly malnutrition.
And dehydration.
Here's a nice home. Here's your good career. Here's your yacht.
Or just studying them and okay, I'm done with you. Bring them back. Or who knows? They could be chipping them. Who knows what they're doing?
Well, I always wondered how these families, these ultimate elite families.
You ever watch Fourth Encounter?
No,
you ever watched Eyes Wide Shut?
If it's like what Steve did, don't do it. Don't tell me.
You ever watch Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise? Nicole
No,
Kidman?
what is that? Eyes Wide Shut? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it does.
How can you have your eyes wide shut?
Watch Fourth Encounter.
Alice, you better get to Utah. We got to get to Wells.
Most definitely.
Okay, 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 30 seconds. I'm out of here, which is going to be in 20 seconds.
Are we going to count down like a rocket ship?
I'd rather leave on the 9 than the 8. Stay within the frequency. 3 hours and 3 minutes. It was fun with you all. Be back tomorrow. Have a good night. Happy Easter.
Happy
333.
Easter.
I'm out.
Rage quitter. All right. It's been fun, Kaylee. She's already gone. Kaylee, watch the Fourth Encounter. Bye-bye, everybody.
Can't
My, no worries of my falling. When I hit the ground, just bass, drop it. To the end and turn, we go. Pioneers who grow the most. Cap down in the woods, no sound. Green on the ground, building hip-hop mounds. Song still spinning in my own hometown. In the future when my name's passed around, they'll say that he's a pioneer. They'll say he's a pioneer. Waltzed in the scene, whole game like a ballroom. Came about the mud, had to go to my dance shoes. Hit the moonwalk when I'm leaving every interview. I never look back, even when I'm leaving rooms. I could cop a phantom when I wake up in the morning. But if money's all you flexing, then you live the cheapest story. I wanna be Picasso to the south, just give me all the glory. I'm the man who make dirt and dust an allegory. So keep talking alright, stay up late all night. Draw pictures of my enemies and visions I like. Music's life, life's time, time's moving, take a hike. Back then, say what's next, and I'd probably say a bike. To the end and turn, we go. Pioneers who grow the most. Cap down in the woods, no sound. Green on the ground, building hip-hop mounds. Song still spinning in my own hometown. In the future when my name's passed around, they'll say that he's a pioneer. They'll say he's a pioneer. A pioneer. Velvet red carpet is my best dress shoe. Walking what I don't need, the term artist misuse. Lit views, only lighting rockets. Dodge every bullet on earth, man. Now I'm skirting comets. We two different forms of profit. Mine could never fit in the biggest baller's pocket. And I won't ever die, even living as a target. I kick the door off so nobody could knock it. Came, way from the bottom. I ain't going up and never stopping. My, no worries about falling. When I hit the ground, just bass, drop it. To the end and turn, we go. Pioneers who grow the most. Cap down in the woods, no sound. Green on the ground, building hip-hop mounds. Song still spinning in my own hometown. In the future when my name's passed around, they'll say that he's a pioneer. They'll say he's a pioneer. A pioneer.
Look, all my life has been neglection, so now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsession. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People kill to live. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it cause the law is killing kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victim to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. failed Kylie and now Sammy is free. AWP did a good deed, and y'all be talking all that shit while they just do it for free. 16 days for 35 minutes. Y'all tried to throw them off and just wanna play the victim. Reaching out to YouTube channels for clout. I wouldn't check it. TV if I went in your house. And SF investigate, stay sending out the hate. Why you mad at Doug and Nick for finding Kylie in the lake? Make it make sense. You're a fake bitch. You were there for money and now you're mad over fake shit. And that's something I can't relate with. Zero emotion from the mom on the statements. All I seen was the devil in her eyes. Tony died, you're a fake. I can see it through your lies. God sent me on your stream like the FBI. You've been grooming little kids. I can see your whole disguise. It get mail calling Ronnie up on the line. Why you lie to the people and say you gon' do it live? Santa May out here looking extra sus. Got an arrow on the ground pointing towards Kylie's truck. Then you wanna come and up church. I think your butt hurt. You tried to blame the man for your dog but couldn't find the dirt. I guess that's what they mean by the trucky way. If you step foot in the town you might die from foul play. And I don't know what to say, but I can feel it through my soul. She didn't drive in LA. So y'all can try to go convince somebody else, cause I'm not falling for that shit. The autopsy really smells.
See, let me explain what I'm talking about, man. And you know what I'm talking about. No water in the lungs. Y'all test for the weirdest shit. I guess it is the trucky way.
You gotta stop doing this.
I mean, I really guess it's the trucky way, man. Kylie Rodney needs justice. Shout out to AWP for being the only real ones in this situation. And that's sad. There's so many people that care. Rev Gang family, I'm out.
We weren't the only ones that saw it, we found out later. Sheriff had on file people who were in the area that saw it.
Saturday and Sunday, the U.S. military shot down objects over Alaska, Canada's Yukon Territory, and Lake Huron.
What do you remember? The movement that they described was what the crew described when it left.
Yeah, the Pentagon has confirmed that 3 objects have been shot down in American airspace.
What did they describe? They described this glow rising up.
I bring the power of lightning, trouble of rain, smiling at death in my casket champagne. I see the future, so they blame cocaine. My mind on levels of solo domain. I'm woven in music, my words being crocheted. I will die hard as if I'm John McClane. Bend every sword at my neck with bare hands. Leave with my limbs and a smile like it's planned. I'm only half human, staring at the moon and wish I could touch the glow so soothing. Look to the sky for the feeling of the next place. Shiny disc says hello from far away. I've seen silver circles. I've seen silver circles. Swim in serotonin to numb all the pain. The best place to be is inside of my brain. If y'all could come see it, then you'd be amazed. But also in fear, cause it can't be explained. I paint vivid pictures, not stuck in one frame. I need no color to start throwing shade. I travel quickly, no time to make space. Light speed with pen so I can't be erased. I'm only half human, staring at the moon and wish I could touch the glow so soothing. Look to the sky for the feeling of the next place. Shiny disc says hello from far away. I've seen silver circles. I've seen silver circles.
The latest object was shot down over Lake Huron yesterday. It was initially spotted over Montana, but made its way across Wisconsin.
4 takedowns in 8 days. It's the latest in a series of responses to those unidentified high-altitude objects floating over North America.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for watching this episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Today, we explore another disappearance of a 19-year-old Aidan Clune from Sonoma, California. The similarities between the disappearances of Aidan Clune and Dylan Rounds are enough to make one raise an eyebrow. An innocent teenager with no criminal record seems to just disappear in the middle of his road trip. While it is unlikely the two cases are related, there is a shock factor behind the fact that the two disappearances occurred just a month apart and less than 90 miles away from each other. As Aidan's mother describes the days before his disappearance, it becomes obvious that something is very wrong.
Aidan was fine before he went to Washington. And then when he got back, he started taking circumstances and turning them into these more nefarious situations in his mind. So then I actually called his doctor and I said, Aidan, there's something wrong. Please call him in. Please do something. He's not okay. You need to help him. And they said the same thing. If he doesn't come in for help on his own, we can't do anything. So I finally got in contact with some nonprofit things. I was calling everywhere in Santa Rosa. I finally found this one with a sliding scale and a really nice guy. I said, Aidan, will you please go into counseling? I found this guy for you. We can do it. It's not a problem. And he said yes. And then he was sitting on his phone and suddenly this very alarmed look came over his face. And he said, Mom, I got to go stay somewhere else for a few days. I got to go.
Aidan immediately began packing a bag, got in his truck, and left. Unfortunately for Amy, Aidan's mother, she had no idea that this would be the last time she saw her son. As Aidan attempted to relocate to an environment where he felt safe, he wound up sleeping in his truck outside of a park.
And then sometime around mid-morning, he finally called me and he says, I haven't heard from you. I said, Aidan, you blocked me. He's like, oh, okay. I said, Aidan, are you coming home now? And where did you stay last night? He said, I stayed in my truck across from this park. And I was like, why did you do that? And he said, I just decided, I feel like everybody's kicking me out of Sonoma. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm not kicking you out of Sonoma. Come home. And he says, I can't do that. Then it was later, I think it was around noon, he calls me and he says, I'm going to go to Grandma's in Salt Lake City, Grandma Debbie. Then there were some calls from Debbie and all of this, a lot of calls going on. And they were going to get him they have a brand new travel trailer. They were going to set it up for him with sewage and electricity. And it was like he's going to have his own place, which he's desperately wanted. Debbie wanted to see her grandson. She was very happy. Her husband, Mike, was very happy. They were all excited. Everybody sounded really happy about it. But then he starts asking me paranoid stuff about locks. How does that trailer lock? I said, it locks just like a front door. You can lock yourself in and lock other people out. That's how it locks. Mom, are you sure? And then I said, yes. Then he said, what have you not told me about Debbie and Mike? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I've told you, what do you mean? You know everything about Debbie and Mike. You know them. And I said, come on, honey, don't start doing this. I guess it was a couple hours or maybe it was an hour and a half. I get a call from Debbie and she says, Aidan tried to kidnap Mike.
As Aidan's paranoia begins to spiral out of control, an incident takes place where Aidan convinces his grandfather Mike to get in his truck and then turns around to take off in the opposite direction. As Aidan realizes Mike has a phone, he tries to take it from him unsuccessfully, slams on the brakes, and tells him to get out of the car. Aidan's mother gets news of this incident and immediately calls local law enforcement of Elko County to inform them that Aidan is in danger and missing. As the investigation turns over to law enforcement, missed opportunities and more questions begin to emerge. At 6:23 a.m. on April 27th, Aidan was seen on surveillance leaving a Motel 6 in Wells, Nevada. I was able to briefly speak to Dan, the attendant at the Motel 6 who checked Aidan in the night of the 26th.
It was dark and it was the right time of year, so it was between 6 and 7 o'clock. Yeah, it was not snowing or anything. It was just cold. I'm sure there was snow on the ground. Yeah, he just came up to the window and he was apprehensive about renting a room because he wasn't 21 years old. He didn't think I would rent a room to him. And I told him to relax. We'll get you in a room, buddy. He was a really nice kid. Yeah, he was very mellow. He was very relaxed. He didn't have any issues that I could tell.
After departing the hotel, Aidan began to head south along US 93. Shortly after 8 a.m., Aidan stops his truck on the shoulder of US 93 and exits his vehicle. Just 50 minutes later at 8:50 a.m., a Nevada Highway Patrol officer finds Aidan's truck on the side of the highway with no one nearby. The officer issues a citation, locks Aiden's truck, and leaves. A witness interviewed by law enforcement states they saw Aiden near his truck carrying a guitar before the officer arrived. The witness also adds that when the officer did arrive, they saw Aiden crouched down behind some bushes as if he were hiding. After the officer leaves, the witness says they observed Aiden running away from his vehicle toward the Cherry Creek Mountains. It takes a full 24 hours for the two law enforcement agencies to convene and learn of their mistake. They realize that the abandoned vehicle belongs to Aiden Clune, and they dispatch officers immediately to begin searching. After they arrive and take a look around, the officers state they were able to locate Aiden's tracks, and it became apparent that Aiden was headed west. This only leaves more questions, as the only things visible to the west of US 93 are mountain peaks. Why did Aiden all of a sudden abandon his vehicle and head up a mountain alone with no hiking or survival gear? With law enforcement only beginning to fan out 24 hours after Aiden disappeared, time was against rescuers. At the base of the mountain Aiden's tracks led to, officers found his abandoned guitar. And following the tracks further towards the mountain, searchers started to notice that Aiden was taking his shoes off before crossing roads and then putting them back on after he crossed. Searchers remain adamant that Aiden's tracks were the only ones to observe, implying he was alone. After uncovering these abnormalities, authorities concluded that Aiden was making very intentional efforts to not be found. As the tracks were followed for over 10 miles up the mountain, the snow and rain eventually eroded any signs left behind by Aiden. The official statement from authorities is that Aiden's tracks were lost in the Cherry Creek Mountains, several miles west of US 93, and that their search efforts had turned into recovery efforts. To this day, Aiden Clune is still missing. If you or anyone you know might have information leading to the discovery of Aiden's location, please use the contact information in the description to contact the Elko County Sheriff's Office. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. I'm happy you enjoyed watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like more of this content recommended to you, and make sure to hit the notification bell to be notified when we post our next video. And if you really want to enable our channel to succeed, consider becoming a paid member and becoming the very first to get access to exclusive perks all about Unsolved Mysteries. See you guys next time, and again, thanks for watching.